Nice, dude.
Yo, let's go.
First podcast. We're gonna have to do so many of these now. This is like the
Yeah.
floodgates opening. But first, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the What's Your Hustle podcast. Today we have Ardy Wunder, the infamous
Hello.
award-winning photographer. Award-winning.
Award winning.
Award-winning.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Award winning.
Um,
Do we want to talk about awards?
we can dabble. First, we're gonna crack open our drinks. Crack open your coffee.
This actually I want to talk about this mug for a second. This was from Sexy Mexi. Incredible Mexican place that um they haven't closed, but they're not on the walking mall anymore.
Mm,
They have their own basically industrial kitchen now where they
nice.
operate out of. So they still like go to events. They still, they still make their incredible food, but they don't have their restaurant anymore, which I'm very sad
It's more
about.
like they kind of pivoted to just like catering.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and they
Interesting.
still have their food truck, and so they'll still go out. But yeah, we were lucky enough. We came in on one of their last days. They gave us this mug, so thank you, Sexy Mexi.
Yeah, link below if you want. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's very interesting because I feel like, I mean, we're jumping right into Sexy Mexi, but
Yeah,
I feel like it's probably like a strategic play because if you're not getting a lot of traffic in the restaurant,
yeah,
you're getting more traffic with your food truck and catering. Like it's like, okay, we have these other two sources of income. Do we need the third that's we're kind of like dragging along?
yeah,
Like in theory, it's nice to have like a sit down, but sometimes like, I don't know, it's probably nice to be able to just like pivot and kind of take the funds or the expenses you're putting towards the
yeah.
restaurant and like double down on the other two and maybe improve them a little bit. Not saying that they need to be improved, but
Yeah, I do wonder like what happened though, because like it was never, unfortunately, it was never crowded when we walked in. We used to love, I mean, we still do, but their street tacos. Oh my God, their street tacos.
yeah, like their
They're
food is good.
so good.
Their food is good, but
Yeah.
I think it might just be that they just couldn't get anybody to sit down in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, the food truck's where it's at. I love me a good food truck.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to just kind of walk up, grab what you get, and keep
Yeah.
it moving. Very it's like the drive through of walking. I don't
Mhm.
know if that's a good comparison because their food is not fast food quality. It's really good. Um,
That's funny though.
yeah.
Walk up drive through.
I mean, it's nice because like you grab the food, you keep walking or you keep moving, and you're kind of burning it as you eat it, depending on what you get. It's
Yeah.
very efficient.
It is very
Yeah.
efficient. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is a great business model.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so efficient. In theory, it's a smart idea, but it depends on what you get, I guess.
Yeah.
As you get it loaded up, you're not burning all that off quick.
Hey, what do you think of this liquid death?
It's pretty good. Um I started drinking it probably last week. I don't know. It drew me just for the marketing standpoint
Yeah. It
because they're
is.
literally marketing water.
Yeah.
Like that's they put it in a fancy can. They put a really cool name to it, Liquid Death. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it mimics. I've seen a couple different companies do it, like bottled water or canned water, but theirs it's like you almost look at it, you're like, yeah, I'm drinking a beer, but it's water.
Yeah. It kind of does look like
Yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's 100% the marketing that they're going towards is like we just got to market it to like that brand, like that kind of stigma of like, yeah, let me grab a cold one, and it's water. It doesn't taste any. I mean, it's water.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't taste bad. I think it's purely just like that. And it's weird. I stopped drinking soda, so it
Yeah.
was like I need that
You
like
need something.
that crack of
Yeah.
like a can. I don't really drink alcohol that much, so it's like I just got a fancy water. You know,
Yeah.
I'm probably paying way more than what I should for it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
I replaced, I mean, I haven't completely replaced alcohol, but I did switch to spin drifts. Like, especially like if I'm hanging out like with my friends on Discord. Like
I don't even.
I used to have a beer, but obviously, like you grow up, you get older, and all of a sudden that beer is like no longer really that attractive because you're thinking like, well, I mean, this is calories. I'm gonna feel tired. Like, obviously it's not good for you.
No.
But what I hate about the spin drifts is they do not hydrate you. I mean, it's water, it's carbonated water,
Is it like an alcoholic beverage?
No, no, it's just like it's supposed to be like 3% fruit juice and carbonated water, but it does not hydrate you.
Really?
Yeah, and I
That's
don't
weird.
know why. And so I'm like, well, what am I drinking the Spinger for? I mean, like, yeah, it tastes good, but maybe should I just be having water?
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like you're chilling, trying,
Yeah,
late night, just maybe not drinking.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's better than a soda, I guess.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. You're probably getting the my biggest thing is the carbonation.
Mm-hmm.
Like seltzer water. I need some type of flavoring. I can't drink just TV static. I need
Yeah.
something there. You know what I mean? Like
Just
I need
drinking TV
something.
static.
Yeah, I just need something, a little flavor, but it's the carbonation, especially in the morning. My body's like, "Oh, you know, carbonation, we're waking up."
Yep.
Even though there's not really a lot in there. Oh, I'll have a monster every now and again, but the what is it? The zero sugar. It's
Yeah.
probably not the best, but it's better than. Have you had like the original Monster, like the green, black and green can? It is
Yes. Mm-hmm.
so
Yes.
sweet. I feel like there's so much sugar.
It was very sweet.
Like you can almost chew it. And
Yeah.
then I switched and I started having the white can, which is like everybody's go-to because it's like
Yeah.
they say it's 10 calories, no sugar or zero sugar. And it's like, oh yeah, this is the healthy option. It's probably not. There's probably still a bunch
Uh,
of stuff in there that's not that great. But of the two, it's like the lesser of two evils,
yeah,
maybe.
it's kind of like smoking and vaping.
That's like that's
Yeah.
what my brain is telling me. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, do the white can because it's better for you. Like
Yeah.
if you have to have one, you might as well do the better of the two. But try to cut them out altogether.
Yeah.
Insert liquid death. But
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Well, let's kind of jump in. For everybody that doesn't know, you should know. Artie is a crucial member of the Hustle Productions team. Part owner, lead photographer, award-winning photographer. We keep touching on that. We will circle to that. I'll let you talk about your award and brag and
Oh yeah. Well, I got an award because so I was working for another agency. I was a freelancer at the time, and they had contracted me, and we had an event that we were photographing and filming. It was a NASCAR event, and it was a community event down in Richmond that was celebrating African American drivers. I mean, there were celebrities there, like, NASCAR drivers, like, it was awesome. It was a really cool event. And then a couple of weeks later, we got selected for an award for some of those photos, and, they said, "Oh, it was your photos." And I thought, I mean, like, what a fantastic honor. I mean, I always say that, like, awards don't really mean much, especially, like, like, in our industry, because oftentimes it comes down to a popularity contest. It's who voted the most for you, like, all those kinds of things, like, it's who do you know.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
yeah.
that award I really was pleased to get because it did feel legitimate. It felt like, I actually did help make a difference through my photography, so getting that award was really, really nice.
No, it's awesome. And I like just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Just because what am I here for then to give you a hard time? I mean, Hustle just won an award. I don't know the validity behind it, but we got it in the mail. We were the 2025 photographer of the year of something for some
Hey, I'll take
voted.
it.
I'll add it to the list. I think we both have like that a very similar mindset behind it. It's like it's great. I'm not discounting or like kind of like
Mhm.
playing it off, but I feel like clip it. The real word is how our clients feel about it.
Yes.
No,
Mhm.
I think we
Yeah.
focus more on that than awards. It's nice. It's nice to win an award. Like the episode of
Yeah.
SpongeBob, Patrick won an award, the whole thing. Um, I think though it's like kind of like what you're saying. It depends on where it came from, who it came from, like how it was selected. But we're really not focused on that. Like
Yeah.
it I jokingly talk about it, like, yeah, it just came in the mail. It literally came in. I opened it, I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And just kind of kept moving because we had other things going on. Like it's nice to stop and smell the roses, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, okay, we appreciate the thought. We'll hold it close to our hearts, but we're gonna keep on moving, keep
Yep.
doing what we're doing. So
And I'm finding out live. This is news to me.
yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't want your head to get too big. A multi-award winning photographer. It's just, it's tough to it'd be tough to move around in
Yeah,
here.
these doorways are gonna get pretty small. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna fit my head through them.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is awesome though. We should
Yeah.
put that on the wall.
Yeah. I think we'll look we'll do something with it. talk about it.
Yeah.
I gotta research it a little bit more and figure out like where it came from, who it was, and everything. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was, and this kind of leads right into like the history of us and like everything. But it's kind of nice to kind of see something that like I started, we've built to this point, and then like something like that comes through, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now we're moving. Now
Yep.
we're making moves, right? What do we say? We're
Moving and grooving.
no something about bricks and an empire and
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Wait, what was the line? We're selling bricks to build an
Yeah,
empire. Yep.
yeah, that's our internal, I guess now external, called tag? I don't know.
Yeah. Gotta
No,
move
it's
these
just
bricks.
yeah, it's just, and by bricks, we mean photos and video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Bricks of files.
Photo, video bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are not gonna yeah, no, that shouldn't.
Well, if you've ever seen a video timeline,
Mm, yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty
bricks.
much it, yeah.
Yeah. Not cocaine.
We'll just bleep that word out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
YouTube and the whole
Yeah.
no, but it's nice because like, we kinda started from nothing, and
Yeah. I mean, it really is amazing to see where a business goes, especially like from where you start. Because I feel like when we started, I mean, like we literally like, I mean, like we really didn't know anything. I mean, like we are like living on a hope and a dream, you know?
not even,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we had our cameras and we're going out and we're shooting what we thought looked cool. And then you start learning about, I mean, not just, your craft and you don't just start really mastering that element of what you do, but then on top of that all of the business skills that you have to build. Because like I mean, I was always under the impression of like kind of like the BMW model, like if you build it, they will come, right? And so for so long, I focused just on making sure that like my craft was you know as close to the best possible product that I could make all the time, and not really focusing on getting the word out about like, hey, here is what I can make. And eventually that kind of came around to the point where I, realized I was like, wait, I really have to focus on actually marketing this stuff. I like if I want to get hired to do this, people have to know that I do it. But if I'm just putting things out, into the, at the time, like smaller amount of followers that I had, it was like maybe a few hundred. Like, of course, like nobody's going to know. And it's not like I have a lot now. I think I have like maybe like 1,200 followers on Instagram. It's not a huge number, but still, you have to get that message out there. And if you don't, how are people going to know that you have this amazing product that you can provide for them?
Yeah. That you're actually touching on something that I like to talk a lot about, with just different businesses, and you've probably heard me. I mean, we're probably going to repeat a lot of things we say outside of a podcast.
Hmm.
Um, but think of like followers as people in a room. So like you're like, oh, it's only 1,200 followers, right? Can you imagine if you stood up in a room in front of 1,200 people? You'd be like, oh snap, I'm preaching.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting, you're talking, and you have 1,200 people that are looking at you, that are paying attention to what you're saying. Now it's not that extreme, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can go down the rabbit hole of fake accounts or whatever
Yeah.
accounts or
And Instagram
troll
really
account. Yeah,
like only showing like your stuff to 20% of your followers
yeah.
if you're
So,
lucky.
but if you think of it as like, okay, but that core that it does put it in front of,
Hmm.
like that's kind of what it is. Even like split it in half. Okay, so 600 people. We'll
Yeah.
say it even gets to 600 people of your followers that are people that are actually paying attention to what you're doing. That's still 600 people.
Yeah.
Like think if you were standing in an auditorium full of 600 people and you were talking, you'd probably be way more nervous. Well, probably not. I don't think I would. I'd crack way more jokes, but that's kind of like the mindset of like, and then translate that to views. It's like, okay, I have 600 people that are really kind of tapping in. I got 300 views, so I'm hitting 50% of the actual people that are tapped in. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't look so much at like the views of like, oh, this only got X amount of views, that only got this money. It's like, okay, look at it as a ratio. Look at it from like, okay, how many how many followers or subscribers or whatever engagement do I have on my account, and then translate that to the views. It's like, okay, it's great. Yeah, obviously you want the numbers to be bigger,
Hmm. Yeah.
but you got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to grow and TED Talk over. But it's one of those where it's like it's very interesting. So like But to go back on your point of like honing your craft and like, okay, now I really got to get it in front. It's very interesting, like mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different skill set too. Um, I mean, that's what I appreciate so much about like our relationship is that like you are so good at this stuff. I mean, it's like the amount of stuff that I've learned from you just like in the past year is just insane. I feel like, I mean, when, because we were in our old studio this time last year
Yeah.
and the processes that we had, I mean, everything's completely different.
Just from like a business, yeah, from a
Yeah.
business perspective, it's like we're a different company. Like
Yeah.
we're a different business. Like I feel like a year ago we were still, making
We're
moves, like,
moving.
but we were just kind of like moving, like, okay, now,
Yeah.
like, what's next?
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, maybe we should like refine some of this. Maybe we
Yep.
should invest more in like the systems, and we've done our due diligence of like making sure we're working out kinks in the process,
Yep.
and I think that is a big sign of moving forward. I
Yeah.
think, some of the stuff that we have kind of brewing through other people that have reached out to us about other projects. Like I won't go too far into details about it, but I think that that shows that we're going in the right direction,
Yes.
regardless
Completely
of
agree.
like how quick. I think sometimes you see newer businesses or smaller businesses kind of like try to put it out there like, yeah, we're growing so fast or we're doing all these great things and all this crazy movement. And it's like, okay, that's good, but like you gotta think longevity.
Mhm.
You gotta think like you gotta be more strategic, and you can't just kind of like fly off the what is it, fly off the handles a little bit. You you have to kind of move with a purpose. And I think we've done a really good job of that.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, what's a favorite project that you've had
Favorite
recently?
project, man. Um, I don't know why, but CMWLS,
Yeah.
comprehensive medical weight loss. So we've been working with them for over a year now.
Yeah.
They're probably, sorry everybody else, they're probably like my favorite project because I've seen similarities. So to kind of give a little context, right? We started with them before their doors were even officially open. They reached,
Actually, I should have sent it to you. I so you know how well, you haven't he's got an Android.
yeah.
iPhone will you guys have probably had this feature for a while. It will bring up like a collection of photos and it'll say like, "Hey, this is what you were doing this time last year and here are all the pictures that you took within a couple of day span,"
Hmm.
right? And there was an image there where it was you and Dr. Monera, and you were standing in an unfinished part of their building, which
Really?
is completely developed now, completely renovated. And yeah, and you could see like the markings on the wall where like the gym was gonna go, and there was still like all this construction on the ground. And I was thinking like, man, that place looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I think that's why they're kind of like my favorite. It's kind of like kids. You can't have your favorite,
Yeah.
maybe. But no. I like the complexity of what they needed. I think, we help them with a lot. We help them navigate a lot of things that kind of fell outside of the scope of what they originally needed.
Hmm.
But it's because I don't want to say they didn't know. I think they knew what they needed. It was just, I mean, when you're putting together, I mean, think about when we were moving in here. We're putting together a space. We're trying to keep the cart moving forward. We're trying to get all the deadlines met. It's like sometimes like, all right, I know I need this. It's like, I don't have enough time. Like I can't put the bandwidth towards it
Yeah.
to get it done. So when we started working with them, it was like, okay, we're focusing on marketing. We want a good, marketing plan, photo and video and everything we
Hmm.
did, build out the website, the whole 9 yards. But there was a lot of like, we had a lot of good conversations
Yeah.
about growth and hey, you know, kind of trending like, hey, we want to work with you in the long term. Our goal is to kind of see us at this point in the process. We want to kind of see you here, kind of like little checkpoints. And
Yeah.
so far, we've kind of hit like last week, I was on a call with them and I was like, hey, we got to pivot a little bit because unfortunately, you're just getting so busy that we have to restructure how we're doing things. Completely natural in the process, completely natural with what you're doing
Yep.
with marketing. Obviously, there's hurdles that you got to get through, but it's like there's hurdles and then there's good hurdles. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if it was the complete opposite. So I'll open up a little bit more about it. And we've chatted, but their schedule is so busy that they're finding tough times to get stuff done that we kind of had set in place.
Yeah. And oh, and just to give like a little bit of context. So for this client, we have so we started them off with a branding package. So we did initial photos. So we did headshots, lifestyle photos, detail photos, interiors, and then we also did a brand video for them.
Brand video, testimonials.
Yep. And so we built out this basic starter initial package, which got them off the ground, which, it allowed them to have media on their website, allowed them to have social media content. And then they also built out a studio
Mhm.
so that they could film while we weren't there. And so all they have to do is come in. Matt designed this whole thing. All they do is they come in, they hit record, they turn on the lights, not in that order.
Yeah, yeah. Remove lens cap at the end. Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Yep. Yep.
And wait, and then I lost my train of thought. No, so like, but they have this system where they can just come in, press a few buttons, and they are ready to go,
Mhm.
making high quality visuals. Um, it's something I want to like point out about this particular client that I was really, really happy about was they understood the power of continuing marketing,
Yep.
which is something that I explain to all of our clients. It's that, you don't want to do just one video. You don't want to do just one kind of video either. I mean, like it's a whole strategy. Like with marketing, you want to stay in front of people's eyes. You want to be making those touch points. And so some clients come to us and they say like, "Well, I just want a video." And we're happy to make that video. We want to make that video, but something that we stress is that you're going to want to get as much as you can out of this. So we are going to try and create, excuse me, we're going to try and create assets for you that you can use over a long period of time so that you can get the most that you can out of our production day together. And they just really understood that. They knew the power of continually making videos so that they can continue to get information in front of their patients. They can continue to get their name in front of potential patients. And it's been really working out for them so well that they don't have time to make the videos anymore. And so we're pivoting and we're going to try a different strategy out.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's one of those where talking with them and kind of talking through, talking through like that hurdle, right?
Hmm.
That's a good hurdle in
Yeah.
my mind.
Yes,
That's a good
exactly.
hurdle. Now, if we're going the other direction where a year later they're like, yeah, we got plenty of time to film, then it's like, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not going the same path of what we want.
Yeah. Maybe it's not working.
Yeah. Right. And then that's a whole different pivot.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, that is what I've learned. And I think that's why I like them, or I enjoy working with them a lot, is because that it's stuff we knew, stuff we prepared for, but it's nice to kind of see it in action, right?
Yep.
I feel like we've had other clients that have gone down the road of helping us with different things, but they're the first that have completely said like, "Hey, we're we're open to everything. Guide us in the direction that you need us, and we'll do everything to the best of our ability." So that's all we need, right?
And it's worked for them.
Exactly. So I would say that's probably, it's not one project because we're out there filming. So another side of it is like we do their ads, right? We run
Yep.
their paid marketing. So we'll still go out there. We'll still go see them. We check in at least a couple times a month. I'm always chit chatting, and then also Dr. Monero and I have like we've actually become like friends. Like
Yeah,
it's
he's
very
a good
interesting.
guy. I
Like
like talking to him.
very entrepreneur heavy, like
Yeah.
just talking about different stuff, and just like it's been very refreshing.
Yeah.
And there's others like that we're friends with that we've worked with, and it's so interesting how like, they're like, oh, you never want to go into business with friends, or you never want to do business with friends, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody ever talks about the other way around, where you start working with a company, you start
Yeah.
working with people, and the way that we kind of structured is like we're very hands on. We're
Yeah.
like, hey, we don't want to just like send you this template. We want to like become part of the team. There might be some like psychology behind it of like why we do it that way, but it's what works for us. And
Yeah.
we get the result. Like then we get a better understanding of like who the business is. And then I feel like we can do more with that. But then these clients now turn into like friends that we like to
Yeah.
like talk to and hang out. And like even this morning, like
Yeah.
so
Kyle is in
it
here.
was in
Yeah.
here talk, and then we started talking about other things in life, and like, shooting the breeze, and which is enjoyable because it means, okay, that means our quality of work, obviously our quality is important, right? That's something that we focus on a lot. But there's a layer outside of it is like, do they like us? Do they trust
Yeah.
us? Do they want to
Yeah.
work with us? Do they want to keep coming back? And that, and we'll kind of pull it full circle, I think is better than any award that they can
Yeah.
put in front of us. Unless it's like coolest business ever award. I'll take that one. You
Yeah.
know?
Well,
Yeah.
I think that like so much of it like is personality. I mean, there's so many people out there, so many companies out there that can give you a good product.
Yeah.
But how many of those production companies do you actually want to hang out with outside of shooting?
Yeah.
And then that also like actually something that you just said earlier, like talking about like you shouldn't go into business with friends. I see why they say that. Like I understand like the concept why, but I also like on the other side can't imagine not being friends with the person that like I'm business partners with, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because like I think there's a path to go into business with friends. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I think if you have a friend that you guys both have mutual interests, yeah, you like the same things, you might do things a little bit different. You might have a different process. You might
Mhm.
have like a different eye. But I'm gonna love it with you. Like for us, that's actually worked in our favor a lot.
Yes. Yeah,
Where
it's
it's
worked very well.
where you have we're both creative, right? I'm not going to kind of discredit either, like, but I think we both know our strengths and we play into our strengths, and we both know what the other person brings to the table, and we both, I don't want to say lean on it in a negative way, but we know like, okay, system wise it's coming here, come
Mhm.
this way, putting a good picture, creative, going your way. And like we both know what we bring. And I think having that set up at the very beginning, you can go into business with your friend.
Yes.
I think you also need to be prepared to have hard conversations.
Yep.
You need to be prepared to be able to sit down and say, hey, look, this is a tough one, but we got to get through this. You also got to let things kind of like roll, right? No one's perfect. But I think at the end of the day, if it's like, okay, we have this situation, right? And we've
And it's
had
gotta
plenty
get
of ours
resolved. Yeah.
where it's like, okay, at the end of the day, you have your way of thinking about doing it. I have my way of thinking about doing it. But I think what we both fall back to is what's the best way for the client? And I think
Yeah.
if you're keeping it client driven first, or, you know,
And putting
company
ego
driven,
aside.
exactly,
Yeah.
then I think that's where it's like, okay, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's also that, we have mutual interests outside of work. Like there's things that we enjoy talking about, peanut and video
Yeah.
games and all the different fun stuff.
Yeah.
And also side note, you're like, I have to call you after I leave the studio today because Ellie was like, can we talk to Artie on the phone? So I was like, I'm gonna see him all day, but I will call him when I
Yeah.
get home so you can say hello. Um, so it's like I don't know. You To kind of bring it back to what we're talking about. I think you can go into business
Yeah.
with a friend. I think you need to set up the structure. I think you don't run into it, don't jump into it. We know individuals that have gone and put a ring on it day one, and then they just kind of
They got burned.
they got burned.
Yeah.
Life lesson. That is what that boils down to.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, technically, I guess we started a business before we were friends
Yeah.
because
Yeah, 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 we're in the same
yeah,
class.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we had the same capstone business class. We had to
yeah,
build a business together.
yeah, that was fun
Yeah.
times. And then we went our separate ways. Then we found each other on the walking mall. It was like,
Yeah.
oh snap, you have a camera, I have a camera. What the heck?
Yeah. The way that I always like to describe us is that like my head's in the clouds and you're grounded.
Yeah,
And I bring you up, you bring me down. Like, and we
Eh,
kind of like meet at this like level,
very
like,
yeah,
like, hey, like we're right where we need to be
yeah,
because like we're kind of like we're like at not I wouldn't say like extremes here, but we come at it from kind of like this opposite viewpoint. And then to piggyback off of your other point is like going into business with friends. I think that it takes a high amount of emotional intelligence and like and setting your ego aside and understanding it's like, okay, like, hey, am I being unreasonable here?
yeah.
Because like the answer could be yes, you know?
How many times have we gone back and forth about something, and then like 20 minutes later, I'll be driving home and I'll call you, and I'm like, You know, Artie, you're right. You were 100% right. I don't know what I was thinking. I
It's
don't know if it was like change of scenery or just whatever.
I have this joke that I really like to make, which is like Matt had the idea to put our command center, which is running this podcast right now, on wheels. Kept telling him like, no, 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 we shouldn't put it on wheels. No, we can't do that's a terrible idea. It's one of the best things that we've ever
Yeah.
done. And I always like to joke and say, like, well, I was always the one that said it was going to be a great idea, and you kept fighting it.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
But if that's not like the what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like you got to be able to make a joke out of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like and be able to just like laugh at yourself and just be like, ah, like I was wrong. I made a dumb decision. All right. Like
And
admit it and
things
move on. Like,
yeah, things don't pan out like cuz we've had plenty of ideas where it's like this is a good idea in theory. It didn't work out the way we wanted.
yeah.
One person said, this might not work out the way we want." But we both know the intentions of the other person
Yeah.
is genuine. Is
Yeah.
we both want what's good for the business.
Yeah.
That's it. And I mean, obviously, we're an extension of the business.
Yeah.
But it's like I think what happens is that one or both parties start looking at it from a like personal.
Yeah.
They want like
Oh, they don't like my idea? It's like,
yeah,
well, it might be a crappy idea.
yeah, yeah, or it's a brilliant idea and they
Yeah.
just haven't gotten there yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so it's not it's interesting. And it's also cool because like I mean we were on the phone until like what, 11:30 last night?
Yeah.
Almost midnight. Like we were just it was like we were talking about business. We were also like talking about other stuff and like just making jokes and like in like just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
And it, then Bree walked in and was like, "Who you on the phone with?" I was like, "No."
Jake.
Yeah. Well, he sounds hideous. No. It's just it's nice because like I think when you go into business with somebody, if you can't go through the thick of it and know that they have your back,
Yeah.
and business is tough. Like it's
Yeah.
tough to run a business. It's tough to do anything in a business.
Well,
It's
it
tough.
affects every part of your life.
Yeah, 100%. So to know that there's somebody that is there on like your side or on your team. Obviously, I have my support, right? My wife, kids, my fam, like support system. You have yours, right? But it's a little bit different. And we've talked about it a bunch where it's like we get somebody that has the same perspective, but
Hmm.
it's just a little bit different. So two heads are better than one, two minds are better, whatever you want to say. It's like, but it's nice to be able to bounce something off of somebody where they can fully see both
Yeah.
sides, right? They can see it and then also have a different like you have a different path than I have, right? We're at similar points right now, but we got here two completely different ways.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, let's talk about the history because we started
Yeah.
in your office basement or your basement office.
Yeah, at the townhouse we were renting. This was like
This is like 10
two
years
houses. Yeah,
ago.
two
Yeah.
houses ago. Holy
Well, has it
smokes.
been 10 years? Let's
Um
see, it's 2026. I think I started shooting in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there.
So really started picking up a camera right after I graduated because that was like the first thing that I started doing besides video games after baseball. Because I
Yeah.
was like, what do I do with my life?
Yeah.
Like you ran track, sports, like you commit so much time to this one thing,
Yeah.
and then it abruptly is just like, okay, that's it,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay, now what do I do? And then I
Yeah.
just graduated. So like the two things that were controlling my life for like 4 or 5 years just I mean, baseball even longer than that, just both abruptly stopped in like the same time frame. So then it was like, okay, now what? So then I got into like video game streaming, which then I was like, all right, well, I want to get a nice camera. Then I started vlogging, I started doing other stuff. And then
Yeah.
I like kind of was like, okay, well, here I am. I kind of like this. It's kind of fun. It's creative. Um, and that was probably maybe a year before we reconnected.
Yeah. So yeah, technically Hustle has been in business since what, 2019? So it's been 7 years.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, so we started the business and um, I actually ended up going the freelancer route because I wanted to kind of like I was looking for more of, I would say, like the glamorous side of photography and videography, which I definitely found. Got to do a lot of cool stuff. I freelance for agencies, got to travel a little bit, but in the end, I mean, you realize, well, I guess not everybody, but I would say that like if you were an entrepreneur, you kind of like you have that itch for like, well, like I really want to have my own thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to build my own thing. Like this is really really cool. I love what I'm doing now. Like, going around and shooting, but I want to have more control. Like I want to be able to point at a shoot and say I built this from start to finish. And so that itch just became way too great and I had to itch it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we ended up reconnecting, because yeah, like we're kind of in similar spots where we're like, hey, like we want to make something big.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And I think it was very interesting because like we graduated, we figured out, we both, after graduation, we both figured out like we have similar likes as far as like camera and photography and videography and just creating media, I guess is a good way to put it. And then like for a short window, it was like, yeah, let's do this. We just graduated. We can do this.
Yeah.
We can run with it. And then you had a couple great opportunities come up, and I kind of was like I think at one point, I won't quote because I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like, hey, I kind of want to like take these opportunities, like see what I can do, and I was like, yeah, I think it was more of like the friendship part than more of the business part. I was like, dude, we don't know what we're doing here. You have the opportunity to go do something really freaking cool. Like, go. All I asked was like, can I just keep this thing moving? And you're like, heck yeah. And like, not many people realize like our original logo you designed like day two.
I can't believe I still love that logo.
And yeah,
'Cause, like, I mean, there's so many, like, 'cause I have this, like, really, really bad, like, part of myself where, like, I'll create something and I'll hate it.
yeah,
Like, either immediately or the next day, but I will hate it. I'll be like, "Ah, I could do so much better." That's one of the few things that I look at, I'm just like, "No, no, we got it right."
yeah. We
Yeah,
got it right. I think we've updated it a little bit.
yeah,
I really like the updated version.
yeah, me too.
Like it just looks a little bit, but I
It's
see the
cleaner.
original. Yeah, I see the original, but I'm like just very nostalgic, I guess, a little
Yeah.
bit.
It was also very much following a trend that was popular at the time.
Yeah,
So the original logo, right now, it's just you would just call it a word mark
yep,
because it's just hustle. But originally, I had these like two circles around it, which the reason that I had the circles there was for movement, for perpetuity, but it was also supposed to be like a coffee stain because it was like really really popular at the time. It was like having these kind of like real life elements in your logo. And that trend is gone, and I'm happy it's gone. I can't believe I fell for it.
yeah.
Um, because now I hate trends. Oh, I hate trends.
They have their place.
Yeah, but most often now, whenever we're like working with a client or we're thinking about doing any trends for ourselves, my first thought is like, okay, what's the opposite of this trend? What can we do that is
Yeah,
not this?
yeah, and just like we use it. I don't want to say we use it. We understand it. We're not like turning a blind eye to the market,
Yeah,
but we understand like the whole point of a trend is like everybody following one direction.
and it's there for a moment,
Yeah,
and then it's gone.
yeah, and then
So
you're back to square one,
yeah,
right? You go down like, oh, it's trendy. We're gonna work on this, and then once that trend kind of fizzles out, it's like,
you have to make something new.
okay, now what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is why I love going against the trend because if you can create something that's timeless, evergreen, can be used for a long time, or even like what's better is that like a company can go in, use a video that they made like a year ago, and it still looks great, it's still relevant, and you can use it again.
think about your like from an investment standpoint.
Yeah.
You're getting your money's worth.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
can't use a trend again.
Yeah,
Yeah, because as soon as like you post something that's like a year late on a trend, people are gonna say like, "Hey man, did you just get the internet yesterday?"
yeah, yeah. I hate to break it to you, but
Yeah,
that was like a year ago.
yeah, and you're gonna get those online comments.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, we
No,
love
it's
online comments.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite things, like, whenever I'm, like, just doing my little doom scrolling, I love reading comments because like, I love to see, like, what people are, like, thinking, people's perspective on stuff, and sometimes people are just funny.
They're funny, but I'll spin it, just to kinda justify my doom scrolling. I'll
Yeah.
spin it as, like, market research.
Yeah.
So, I know it's a topic we dabble in, we talk about. I don't know how much we'll get into it, but I'll mention it for a brief moment, then we'll jump right out.
Alright, we'll trend it.
Yeah. But AI, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those where I was looking at there's this product company. I don't even remember what the product was. I think it was t-shirts or something, apparel, but they dove really heavy into AI ads where
Mhm.
you can tell it's not a real person.
Yeah.
It's 100% AI. And that's where I was like, I see there's like 100 comments on here. Let me dabble in and just kind of see what's going on and see what people think. It was probably one 4 out of 5 comments was, "This is AI, this is fake,"
AI slop.
very negative.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." AI is not hitting the marketing world as people thought it was going to,
Mhm.
because I think what you're lacking with AI is that human connection,
Yeah.
the psychology behind it all, right? What a lot of what we base all of our work off of, that human feel, right? The how does it make somebody feel when they're watching it
Yeah.
or looking at it, right? You know, so like looking at the comments that way, it made me feel a little bit better about doom scrolling.
Yeah.
But it was one of those I was like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Well, and I wonder how many of those people are content creators, like, how many of those people are, like, are in industries that are directly getting disrupted by AI, because so a friend of mine, recently created a production company where all they do is they make AI ads. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I mean, like, as they work very, very hard on them, it's they look decent. But they're very cartoonish characters. It looks very, very stylized, but the majority of the comments on their videos is AI slop. And I'm looking at these comments and I'm wondering the same thing that I just mentioned, which is, are these content creators who are looking at this and seeing their jobs being taken away, or are these regular people who are recognizing AI and not accepting it? Because there's a whole market of people, there's a whole subsection of people who don't really care. All they want is their ad. They don't really care if it's made by AI. They don't really care if it's made by a human. They just want to have a good video for their business.
Yeah, I would argue though, like, so let's get to the level 0, right? So
Yeah,
why do you put an ad out?
you want more business. You
You
want
want
leads.
you want you want leads, you want to make sales, depending on your industry,
Yeah,
right? In sales 101, what is the best way to make a sale?
talk to the person.
Human connection.
Yeah,
So if you're already going into it and you don't have that human
yeah,
connection, I feel like people are going to kind of move away from it, to the point now. I'd even make the argument that there's some people that probably see AI and they go, I don't care what it is, I'm not doing business with it.
yeah. A lot of people will say that.
Kind of like that, like, oh, I'm I'm against AI. I don't want the robot, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Like, so if I see it, I'm gonna avoid it. And now you have a lot of push around like the server farms and
Yep.
the what it's doing to the power grid and all the different issues. So there's a lot of people that I think are kind of moving away from wanting AI to be a thing. I think it's I wasn't old enough to kind of fully understand the internet when it took off and became a thing.
Hmm.
It was enough to where I knew you can make a phone call with somebody who's on the internet or
Hmm.
dial up and all the other.
Yeah.
I wasn't really calling anybody at like 5 years old, but I knew my dad was like, I'm getting on the computer. Nobody make a call.
Oh,
I was like,
so many times where like I was like downloading something stupid.
yeah,
Like, I remember when I was like 10 years old, there was for Windows, it's probably like 95. It was a little like basically like an advanced version of Clippy that would just sit on your desktop and you could tell them to do stuff. I mean, this was like a very, very, very early version of like a agent, like an AI agent.
Yeah.
And it was pretty oh, I remember it was like 5 megabytes. It took all night to download.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well,
Think about the files that we move now.
yeah.
Like, it's just that's insane.
And
But
so I remember like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do this overnight so that like I don't tie up the phone line. But then I woke up in the morning, it was still running, and there was like this big snowstorm, and we are helping my sister dig her car out. And she lived like, in the next neighborhood over. And she said, I was calling you guys all morning, I couldn't reach you. I was just sitting there going like, wonder why.
yeah.
Oh,
Man, that
couldn't
storm.
that's terrible. Is something wrong with our phone line?
So funny. That's so funny. It's but like and now like think about like where we're at now,
Yeah.
where you can literally
We're
call you
making
can
calls over the internet.
yeah, yeah. Um I just kind of going back to the AI thing, I think people are, same thing with the internet, like we were saying. I think people are gonna fight it for a little bit. Unfortunately, there's no
I don't think
way.
that's a winnable fight.
It's not. It's the same thing that what is it, 5 years ago or however
Mhm.
many years ago, people were saying like, hey, for like mom and pop shops, even probably even longer before that. If you're not doing the best of both, like if you're not flexible, right? Do the brick and mortar, but you got to have some type of online
Yep.
presence. If you're not doing both, it's going to be very difficult, right? And people fought it and fought it and fought it. You're kind of seeing a little bit of that in some areas. I wouldn't say I won't call areas out directly, but there are some areas in our market that you get to that area and you kind of feel like you're going back in time with
Mhm.
from a marketing perspective. They're not popping up on social media. They're not really having a really strong online presence. I mean, I had somebody talk tell me how much they're spending on billboards a month, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh, billboards.
yeah, I'm like, I guess. I mean
I
that
mean, I think
how
billboards are going the way of sorry to interrupt you. I think they're going the way of newspapers.
yeah, unfortunately, like because I immediately they brought it up and I immediately was like, okay, well, what's your return on that? Oh, we don't know. Oh, are you tracking how if anybody's like, are you asking people when they
Yeah.
call? Like, are they no? It's like, do you have like, in my head, I was like, do you have any like they call a certain number that's on the billboard so like you're funneling the traffic? No. I'm like, well, how do you know you're getting return off of what you're paying for? Like,
Yeah.
that's like marketing 101 is like, if I'm going to invest into this, I need to see what the return is.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you're
Yeah.
just you could be potentially just throwing money down the drain.
I think that a billboard is wonderful for an already established business. Like, let's use like, Bucky's?
Hmm.
Bucky's is a great example. I was driving, north from South Carolina up to Virginia. No, I was coming from oh, no, this was Atlanta. So I was really, like, making, like, like, my way from, like, like, from the southern part of Virginia, like, or southern part of the United States back up to Virginia. And, this was my first time going to a Bucky's, and I'd heard about this place, but the billboards on the way up were hilarious. I mean, like, there wasn't, like, any phone number to visit, there wasn't any website. It was just like, "Bucky's, get yourself, like, a pair of buns." Something stupid like that.
Yeah. Brand awareness.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
like and after that, it was like, another joke, and then, like, after that, it was, like, another joke. For, like, 10 miles, I had a billboard, like, every mile, like, telling another joke. Now, I think that works really, really well because Bucky's is this huge organization. You've heard of them before. They don't need to tell you to visit their website or their phone number. They just need to tell you that there's one coming up. And they
Yeah.
made me laugh while they did it.
Yeah.
But let's say that you're like a mom and pop shop and you put up a billboard. It's going to be a lot harder to get the same kind of value from that because, well, your budget's going to be smaller, first of all. And billboards are expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not cheap. So you're going to want to put well, you're going to want to put in as much information on that billboard as you can because you think that is the best strategy. But when in reality, I mean, like people are looking at this for a half second while they're driving. They're not going to have enough time to write down your phone number, look at your email, or anything like that. And we're at a point now where ads are so interactive. That the most I really want to do is like if I'm interested in your product, I want to have the fewest amount of clicks from me seeing your ad to me purchasing your product to it arriving at my door.
Yeah.
That's just the state of the world that we live in with Amazon and cell phones and instant gratification.
Yeah.
Billboards are just kind of one of those like it's a thing of the past. We'll still have them.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, there's spots where they're valuable, but I mean, I'm guilty of it. I see a billboard where it's like an interesting company, or I'm like, oh, I want to know more about them.
Mhm.
But I'm on the middle of the highway
Yeah.
driving.
You
I'm
might have
not
it
gonna remember
you might have a screaming kid in the back.
exactly. Like, I'm not gonna remember what that business is. So it's like it's tough because it's like the brand recognition might be there. Maybe I'll
Mhm.
see it later on in a different location doing something else, or I'll see it on like a flyer advertise
See,
something.
that's a good point too, is, like, you can't just have one billboard, you gotta have multiple.
Yeah, because you want it to kind of. So it's like it's interesting to me why, and I won't kind of again. I'm not going to call out any areas, but it's like interesting. So we're not there yet. So there's
Yeah,
room for growth,
yeah.
but I think majority of the area was very like almost like going back in time.
Mhm.
And I'm like, hmm, I can't wait to see what this area looks like once it kind of
Yeah.
catches up. But it's like, it's interesting because I think as an entrepreneur, business owner, you have to kind of think forward thinking,
Mhm.
right? You got to be two steps ahead. Even at this point, I feel like two steps ahead is not far enough ahead.
So, well, something that I've been thinking about is, so, like, you have a daughter who's 4.
Mhm.
So, she's gonna be coming into the world where AI has already placed their foothold within society.
Yeah.
So, if you go back 15 years back to when, well, I guess we were, like, teenagers, was when the internet really took a foothold. We were probably more like maybe 10 to 15 when the internet started getting really popular. Because I remember Reddit. I joined Reddit in 2012, because, like, it was the big thing, like, like, in college.
Yeah.
It's like Reddit's this kind of like new website where you get to go see these thing called memes. People didn't really know about memes at the time. Like, they were like, we had like our core few, like Bad Luck Brian,
Oh
Awkward
yeah.
Penguin,
Yeah.
like those, like the OG memes that were
Yeah.
like now, like a meme isn't gonna like last for more than like a cycle
Unless it's really good.
unless it's really
Like there's
good.
some
Yeah.
that I just every time like I feel like sometimes my brain like speaks in memes
Yeah.
where like I'll be in a situation and I'll just like randomly be like, you can't keep getting away with this. And like that one reference
Yep.
Jesse Pinkman
Yep.
from Breaking Bad. Um, but that one is quality, especially in some
It works
situations.
so well.
It works so well. But others where it kind of like comes in, it's interested, and then it kind of leaves.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but the point being that, your daughter's gonna grow up with AI already being a set thing that's only gonna get better. So when she's at the age where she's making consumer decisions, when she's buying things, how much is it going to matter to her that the ad that she saw was AI generated or not? Like, how will society look at these things? How is our perspective going to change?
yeah, it's yeah, because I think, and you kind of see it with marketing now. It's like we mentioned newspapers earlier.
Hmm.
It's like newspapers aren't really like a thing. Like there's a
Yeah.
couple magazines, there's some newspapers that go out there. My dad still reads it probably every Sunday or whatever. But I feel like that is gonna go as the generations kind of
Hmm.
move along. Um,
I mean, I get all of my news from, I mean, I get them from those news organizations, but it's their online platforms.
yeah, or unfortunately social media sometimes. It's
Yeah.
and that I don't even go look for it there,
Yeah.
but it finds you. That
Oh, yeah.
that darn algorithm,
Yeah.
like just it's nice to have. But
Yeah.
from a business perspective, but from a personal, leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
No, you can't have both. That's what I remind myself. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you have ads on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to see what's like. I want to see what's going on."
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Like,
If I'm the one creating ads to put on these platforms,
I
I
got to see
kind of
what's,
want to see what's
yeah.
doing well.
Yeah. What's out there.
Yeah, so but you know how many times I'm like watching like Call of Duty and they have an ad pop up and I'm like, oh, like just get
Yeah.
out of my face. Like I
Yeah.
just want to watch what I want to watch. But it's like I can't get mad
Unless
at
they're
it.
really good.
Yeah,
Like, sometimes an ad is just like phenomenal and you're just like, "Well, bravo. Like,
yeah,
wish I made that."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Jotting down notes while you're watching it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting because I think just like the internet, just like with AI, marketing is also one of those. It's kind of
Yeah.
like transforming. And I think, like, can you imagine going back to like graduation
Hmm.
and going, hey, majority of the income that you're going to bring in is going to be making short form videos to put on social media for businesses that are marketing. That sentence right there, if you're like, go say that, like, you're shaking hands, you grab your diploma, and that's what they tell you when they hand you your diploma. Hey, by the way, you're going to be making short form content for social media for businesses to market on
Yeah.
Facebook.
And half of it's going to be shot with a cell phone.
Yeah. And it's like, you're going to be like, no way.
Yeah. With a cell phone,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
my little iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Man, what a great phone. Oh, I love that phone.
I'm not certain.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Refill my drink, use the restroom.
I will stand here and awkwardly just wait. All right. We're just going to pause this episode real quick and go over today's sponsors for the episode. This episode is brought to you by Hustle Productions. If you're a business and you've been trying to figure out content, marketing, and everything in between, that is literally what we do. Outside of the What's Your Hustle podcast, we help businesses create content, build brands, and actually put a real plan for marketing together. This episode is also brought to you by the Hustle Podcast Studio. If you ever thought about starting a podcast, YouTube channel, or just wanted to document a story, we got you covered. You can schedule an appointment, we'll help you record, and we handle the rest. Need help with strategy, organization, or just want somebody to run the show? We can also help with that too. And finally, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do all the things so you can stay up to date with the show and also with our weekly YouTube content that's focused on helping businesses grow, develop marketing, and reach more people in your area. All right, let's jump back into it. And we're back.
Hello.
I don't know where we left off. Coffee.
Yeah, we were talking about how, like, how perspectives will change as time goes on. Because we were talking
Yeah.
about, like, I mean, like, yeah, this is a losing battle against AI. Like, it's not winnable. It's what huge corporations want,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and as long as they are controlling, I mean, how do I want to say this? As long as they are
Setting the bar.
investing in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to trickle down. I mean, it's going to continue to go down into the smaller businesses, and because they're going to want to compete. And so, like, well, if these huge businesses are using AI to do that, they're going to look at that and see it as a tool for success. Now, their success may vary because, the amount of money and the amount of talent that these huge corporations have. I mean, they can utilize it really, really well. They know how to utilize it. But then, I mean, that's kind of like where we come in for these smaller businesses, is providing that expertise so that they know, hey, this is okay, this is not. This will perform well, this will not.
Yeah. And definitely, I mean, we can probably have a whole separate episode of like AI and like what to do, what not to do. Like,
Yeah.
we even have our own internal, like, I don't want to say struggle, but like back and forth of like, do we want to go this route? We're trying to veer away from it, but we also use it for other things outside of like, I would say I'm okay with it for like efficiency purposes, helping like organize, days,
Yep.
scheduling, like kind of using it for a lot of those,
The menial things.
yeah. I think where I will always kind of veer away from and get away from, because I don't think it's genuine, is like scripting is one.
Hmm.
Like,
That can be a difficult one because, I mean, you're not just trying to like capture your voice, but AI has a particular voice too that it can kind of like sometimes settle into.
yeah,
Like, one of the ways that you can tell, like, if something was like generated by ChatGPT has that double hyphen. ChatGPT loves using that double
I
hyphen.
don't understand why.
And well, it's like maybe it's just the way that like mine has been trained. But I see like this very, very similar pattern in the way that ChatGPT likes to set up its phrasing. So like it'll often say like, hey, like main point hyphen, and then like kind of like a supporting point,
Yeah,
or like a list of like one, two, three things to support that
main
earlier
point.
part of the sentence. Yeah. And now I've kind of like recognized it when I see it out in the wild. I'm like, oh, that's ChatGPT. And like, and so many of our clients send us stuff with ChatGPT.
Yeah, and I'll say this. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, that's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I can see it here." But I'm kind of like, and maybe see, right? We're getting layers deep. maybe this is eventually what's going to happen with everybody else, but it's like,
Mhm.
what is so wrong? I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What is so wrong with somebody using ChatGPT to make an email better
Yeah.
or to, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it I even with asking that, it kind of makes me like, I don't know, it just kind of feels weird. But at the same time, it's like, here's your options. You have option one where somebody has, and this is an extreme. We'll
Yeah.
play the extremes, right? Option one, somebody has word vomit of an idea of kind of what they want,
Yeah.
misspellings, not, not proper English. And it's just like even just like it's just very difficult to transcribe, right? To figure out what in the world is this person talking about. Or the other option is this well put together, almost too clean
Yeah.
of a product where you're like, okay, I kind of know exactly what they want. It gave me more information than what I was needing. It breaks it down into really this in-depth info. It's like, which one would you rather work with? It's like kind of like, you know, they both have their flaws, but
Mhm.
more times than not, people are probably gonna want the more detailed, like
The polished
the
email
polished look.
that's formatted
Yeah.
correctly. Because I mean, that's something that I see a lot is that when I'm sending an email, like I came from graphic design. I mean, that was kind of like my first foray into the, I would say, visual creative space. Was I wanted to, because my sister was a graphic designer, and so I thought, well, that's cool. Let me see if I can go and chase that because I've always known that I've been a visual artist. Yeah, like I would say like a visually focused artist,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot from graphic design about how to deliver information in a clear, concise way that's going to be easy for the observer to digest,
Yeah.
right? And then taking that into everything else, like your emails. Like if you just have like a solid chunk of text, I'm gonna read it. Of course, I'm gonna read it. I don't wanna, it's like
It
it's
just
that it's
looks
gonna
so much
like
more to
yeah, you
digest.
have to work harder to go in, like, especially, like, if somebody, like, will place, like, like, they'll list out times, but they list them out, like, in a sentence form. It's like, "Give me a list,"
Yeah.
you know? Like, categorize it for me. "Here are my times on Monday. Here are my times on Tuesday," because
Are you
otherwise
calling me out?
No, you do a good job of this. Um
I the one I sent you earlier today, I sent it and I was like, I don't even like how
Oh,
that
I
looks.
haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
fair. I was like, I don't even, but it's the information. Here it is. Like, run with it. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I was in the like running a live stream, sent like answering something, and like, I was like, as long as you have the information, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll transcode it. Is that a
Yeah.
word?
We're making it one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
But, like, ChatGPT does a good job of, like, formatting that for you.
yeah,
So, like, and I am guilty of this. I will write an email, I'll word vomit it, and then I'll put it into ChatGPT, and I'll have her just, like it is a she. I'll have her just, like, clean it up.
yeah.
I really miss Scarlett Johansson's voice on ChatGPT. I really do, because like, that movie, Her, if you guys have you seen Her?
I've seen. I think I've seen clips of it,
Oh, it's
but I
so
have not
good.
seen the full thing.
It's so good. And if you see it, you have to watch Lost in Translation first because the movie Her is a response to Lost in Translation.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So it's two directors who were who used to be married. So I don't remember the directors' names. Kind of having my mind's blanking on it. But they when they were married, Lost in Translation was made. And Lost in Translation was actually I think they might have been even divorced even at that point. But the movie was made to show how lonely the partner felt, where like her partner or his partner, I'm getting a lot of details mixed up. You guys are just gonna have to follow along and maybe chat GPT this for a better format.
Yeah, take the transcription of
Yeah,
this and have
yeah.
ChatGPT organize it and tell the story.
But
Yeah.
basically, I'll simplify it. So one director was feeling very, very lonely. They felt like the other's success was overshadowing their own. And they were kind of just getting, they were following this other person around from place to place to place. They weren't happy.
Yeah.
And so Lost in Translation was made as kind of like here is my artist's way of showing my feelings, right? And to kind of and get all this out. Well, then years later, the movie Her was a direct response to that movie, and you can see it in some of the scenes where the scene was like, recreated. Like there's a scene where like Scarlett Johansson is kind of like leaning up against like a train window and it's raining and she's just like looking out pondering. And then in her, it's Joaquin Phoenix and the exact same thing doing the exact same thing. And it was kind of
Interesting.
like a response saying like, "Hey, like I understand that you were feeling this way, but look at how I was feeling. Like look at it from my perspective."
Yeah,
It's just I mean, they're both fantastic movies.
that's very interesting.
But Scarlett Johansson was she was the voice of her, of the
Of the
AI.
in the movie,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And so OpenAI came in and was like, "Oh, this is so cool. Like this, like this is what we're trying to build. So let's put Scarlett Johansson's voice into this."
Little Easter egg.
But they didn't ask her.
Ah,
Yeah.
intellectual rights.
Yeah.
Was that like
And then when she
intellectual
found
property? Yeah.
yeah, and then she found out and she said, I don't want my name and my likeness, to be used for this. And they continued on anyway. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna sue you.
Ah,
And that's when they got rid of that voice and they, put in some other ones. But the Scarlett Johansson one was just peak. It was awesome.
yeah. I think I caught like the tail end of that because I talk to ChatGPT all the time. Um, it's very interesting though because that and I guess we're gonna just kind of keep diving down the rabbit hole of AI.
Yeah.
Like that kind of goes right into the next topic of like what you can use AI for. Like, because like they could have like, and I don't know how technical. I'm not good with like audio and like voice details and everything, but they could have come up with like a variation that was similar to hers, but not exactly. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not you, but it's similar, but like kind of split hairs a little bit.
Because I think it has to what is the like 10% has to be different, but like that is so subjective. What is
What?
10%?
Yeah, and how? Like, can you even prove it? Like,
Yeah.
how do you prove that it wasn't or it was changed? And like,
It's
it
like, well,
really
the
kind
way
of
that you like pronounce your vowels in these words is
yeah.
different from like, how you would yeah.
I think they made a good call just kind of avoiding it, but it does bring up a good kind of like topic of like AI within like the media world,
Yeah.
and it's I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the ads. Like, there's a lot like I don't see it as much now. I think there's some motion to kind of crack down, but it's like for a while there was a little bit of a push of like getting AI versions of celebrities
Mhm.
to push products.
Well, isn't that a thing on Meta? Isn't it like you can talk to like Kendall Jenner like as a chatbot or something?
Yeah, but I think they went the route of like getting their permission
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
do it. But this was like I think the one example I saw or I heard about was like Joe Rogan was like his daughter was talking to him about like, hey, look, I just heard you promoting this product. And he was like, I don't promote that
Oh
product.
yeah.
She was like, yeah, here you are. And it's like a video of Joe Rogan promoting this product. And he's like, that's not me. I never once made that. I like like as somebody is literally copying me and replicating it. And it's like it's kind of scary at that. Like you can pretty much like there's ways you can make people say and do whatever you want if
Mhm.
you just have them like there's some companies out there where like you record certain things.
Certain like set of
Yeah.
words, phrases.
Phrases and it's gibberish. It's like doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Like it's not like sentences. It's just it tracks your tone on different things and then you can literally create your own little AI person of yourself to say whatever you wanted to say. And it's like that's cool, right? Not really, because now that gets in the hands of somebody else, and like especially with the internet and things
Mhm.
going viral, and once it's out there, you can't kind of take it down or double back. And by the time you do, you're probably too late anyway. But it's like think about somebody gets that and like tarnishes your name, like says something about you or does something that or like post something that you don't support, whatever, right? There's not by the time you realize it's out there or by the time you work on it, like Joe Rogan's example, that thing probably sold like hotcakes for the
Yeah.
short window that he wasn't telling them to take it down. So they played they played whatever.
They got what they needed out of it.
Yeah. It's very interesting though, with like even like I don't think many people realize, and you'll probably have more information on this than I will, but like even taking photos and like like putting them into AI to then generate new photos on site
Hmm.
outside of that, it's like you don't really you're not allowed to do that. Mm.
No, no, not yet. But my prediction is that, well, we'll start with a real world example, and then we'll go into my predictions. So right now, there's a really popular video game called The Finals that is made
Mhm.
by a Swedish game developer called Embark. Now they've made two very very successful games. They've made Arc Raiders and they've made The Finals. And in both games, they used AI voices for some of the game. So like in The Finals, it's this like dystopian future game show where it's a first person shooter. So it's like it's like pew pew, all this stuff. And as you're playing, you have these like larger than life announcers like going like announcing like play by play. But I mean, you're gonna need AI for that because you can't hire somebody to go in at every single match and give you a play by play.
Mhm.
So they used what they did was I thought they went about it the right way. And I think that they are actually setting what is going to be the precedent. A lot of people got upset with them because they immediately heard they used AI voices. And so they got on the company. But the backstory was that they reached out to voice talent and they paid them for a lot of work. They pre-recorded a ton of lines of them saying stuff, but then they also paid for the rights to use their voice.
Yeah.
So these people got paid. Maybe they didn't make as much money as, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the details of
Or
the deal were.
it's not it's not
Yeah,
generating.
but it's not like that they took something from nothing and made something and paid nothing, right?
Yeah.
They went out, they hired real talent, they trained their voice model on that talent, and that talent got paid not just for their time, but also for the rights to their voice. And I think that that is a good way to go about something because, like, if I hire somebody and then I train them or I train a model on their likeness and then buy their likeness from them. I mean, that's not too dissimilar from how media companies operate now, where like let's say that we're making a something for Nike. We wouldn't do this with our clients because it just doesn't really make sense, but somebody like Nike, it does, where we'll create something for them and then we will sell them usage rights. They don't buy the video, they buy the usage rights. It's
Yeah.
usually, I mean, it's something like if you like Nike, a realistic budget for Nike for let's say a commercial would be like we're going to spend $200,000 on the production, but we're going to spend 400,000 on the usage rights. So we're looking at a $600,000 commercial, right? That they're hoping to make $1 million off of,
Yeah.
something like that. Um, well, what's to say that that's not how we're going to start treating talent? We'll hire them for a day and then we'll buy the rights to use their voice, their likeness, however, for a certain period of time. And then when that time frame is over, then we have the opportunity to renew that contract with them. I mean, it's kind of nice for the person because it's like they go in, they spend a little bit of physical time, and then after that, it's just passive income for them because every single time that time frame lapses and they want their likeness to be used again, it's like that's another payday.
Yeah. It would have to be like per project. It wouldn't have to be like overall. Like
I
in
would
my
say that,
opinion,
yeah, 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 yeah. I
like
hear, yeah,
it would have to be like, okay, you have the rights for this ad campaign, this
yeah.
project.
But if you want me to be in another ad, you gotta buy it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of like rights to like music.
exactly.
I think that I would be okay. It's still
Well,
like
it's
this weird, but I don't think what people don't realize with media is when you hire us, right? Or you hire a media company, a production house, whoever, a photographer, you're not buying the actual photos. You're buying the rights to
yes.
use the photos. The intellectual property is still mine. It's still
Yep,
the person that holds the camera and takes the pictures, unless it's specifically called out and
in the
handed over
contract.
in the contract,
Yep.
which a lot of people don't do that, especially in our industry. Like
It
there's
depends. Yeah.
certain projects. We even have projects that there's certain stuff that we do with certain clients. We're not allowed to show any of the footage. We're not allowed to show any of the because they in the contract call it out. It's their property. it's 100% theirs, and we agree to it.
Yeah.
So we can't put it out there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, sometimes, and just as a clarification for anybody who's wondering, so usage rights typically like will start to become a factor once you are a really big corporation, and we're talking about budgets in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Typically, for our usual clients who are more mid-level businesses, smaller businesses, we don't charge usage rights. It doesn't make sense for the budget, and especially it doesn't make sense for the work.
yeah, and not saying that their work is not valued or anything like that. It's more of just like it's to just for ease of use, for ease
Hmm.
of understanding. Because I think a lot of businesses probably don't realize that we've had people where they're like, "Oh, I love these headshots. I used AI to recreate another one,"
No,
and we
yeah,
were like, in our head, we were like, "All right, you can't really do that.
yeah,
You're taking our intellectual property and turning it into something like you're now like it's essentially stealing,
yeah.
right? Without yeah, you didn't walk in and take the pictures off the wall and keep moving. That would be. Can you imagine if they just walk in just like, yeah, I want this, and they just turn around like take
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
But it's that same idea. It's like, look, like, and that it's tough to explain to people because AI is such a thing. I mean, we even had the one event we went to where they were like
Yeah,
explaining, like talking about like, yeah,
they're
use
promoting
AI,
this.
promote, and we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. As somebody in the industry, you can't
That's
do that.
that's illegal.
Yeah, you can't do that. And I think for photographers and videographers, do your due diligence, make sure it's in the contract, make sure you have the lead, like it's on pen and paper, because if you don't, then you really have nothing to stand on. But even
Yeah.
like even putting like we did something for Eternally Yours, the wedding side of like I can't remember what I just sent it to you and you're like, yeah, dude, I'm already on it. It was
What?
like 2 weeks ago or so. Oh, about the
Oh,
venues
venues.
wanting to use this
Yeah,
is again, this
yeah,
it kind of stays in the same realm, and we can definitely go down, like we can probably go forever
yeah.
and talk about like just like all these different, but like venues saying that they get the rights to the photos, or
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you're not allowed to come take it's like, well, there's no way for the contract you have with and you can correct me if I'm wrong. The way I understood it is the contract I have with the bride and groom, that's a legal contract. The contract that the venue is going to impose or rules could not supersede that
yeah,
original
yeah. Your
contract.
contract doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Your contract doesn't supersede mine,
Yeah.
and there's nowhere in my contract that says that you are given the right. I mean, it's like sure, like okay. Well, let's go over like the legality of this for a second.
Yeah.
So legally, the person who has physically taken the picture, their finger pressed the shutter, that person by default owns the rights to that photo
Yes.
unless specifically outlined otherwise in the contract. And so I always tell like my bride and groom, I'm happy to hand over the rights to the photos to you guys, but I only hand them to
It's
you.
getting good. I need some chapstick.
And but I also don't
Sorry.
but I don't provide them the rights to transfer the rights. It's
Yeah.
like I'm giving you the rights to use these photos in perpetuity, however you want to use them, but you
Send them
cannot
to your grandmother. We don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, but you can't transfer the rights to somebody else. Like you can't go back and sell these to Vogue, you know.
Or give them to the venue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, when the venue comes in and they try to put into their contract that, oh, the photos that you get taken, are going to be used by us for marketing. And if you don't give us the photos, then you can't shoot here. And it's like,
Mm,
no, I mean, you can put that into your contract all you want, but what's going to happen is that you still don't legally own the rights to use the photos. So if you use them, I'm well within my right to come back with legal action.
yeah.
But B, if you're not going to let me onto the property and not let me shoot, well, if that's not my fault, I'm not the one that's stopping my bride and groom from getting pictures taken that day.
Yeah.
And that's completely
That's
on you.
another well, that's another you can they the bride and groom, from my understanding, can then go after the venue.
Yeah.
Like that's another legality
Yeah.
portion of it,
So I
right?
mean, I really don't understand like why this became so popular because I mean, like when you look at it, I mean, it's just like it immediately like it's paper thin.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you apply any kind of pressure onto this and it falls apart.
Yeah.
But I remember like photographers getting very, very upset, and rightfully so, when all this like started happening and there was this huge pushback. And I haven't really heard much of it from it since. And I have not had a venue ask me for rights.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I think we kind of feel the same about this. If a venue wants to use our photos, great,
Great. Yeah.
but let's work something out here. Like, I'm not just
Yeah.
gonna hit or here's a good idea, bring us in, we'll do your marketing. No, I get it because you
I
wanna
mean,
be
they're
able to
trying to get
show
free
them.
photos. I mean, they're trying to get free marketing.
It's not
I
right.
get it.
We'll slap a price on it, right?
Mhm.
I know that kinda sounds
And honestly, like if we're chill,
whatever.
yeah.
As long the other part of it is use it, just credit.
Yeah.
Like that's also on the table of what to work out
Yeah.
because
Keep
we understand the relationship to have with a venue. It makes no like we were we have the strategy that we were talking about last week about targeting venues instead of couples.
yeah.
We're targeting wedding planners. Like there's different ways around it. We
Yeah.
we want to play ball. We want to be involved. Like at the end of the day, we want to work with you guys because especially if it's a really nice venue, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, heck yeah, we want to. It makes our job easier.
Yeah.
But you got to go about it the right way.
Yeah. Like if they told us that they put us at the top of their preferred vendor list, use them,
Yeah.
please.
We have a list of demands. We
Yeah.
want you to follow them if you want this photo of the cake.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's like it's just there's a right way and a professional way of doing
Yeah.
it instead of kind of trying to do that like I just picture that and this is going to be a very extreme example, but I picture them like walking in with like ski mask on and just like give me the photos.
Give me the SD card.
Yeah. And I think that's a little extreme, but I just get that vibe. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like what there was I can't remember. I had a really good example. I lost it. But essentially it was like if you ask me beforehand, yeah, no problem. But if you just assume that you can or like you're just gonna strong arm me into it, then it's like now the principle kicks in. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nope. Now the availability you had to do it, I'm gonna kind of make it even more difficult.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we like like why do we take photos? We want people to see them.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, I want to put out in front of more people, yeah, that's great. We just want to, make sure it's a good for everybody involved.
And I'm so glad that we really haven't had to deal with this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a lot of this stuff is like, this is really just like stuff that like we've seen like outside of our area
Yeah.
because like the wedding venues and the wedding planners in this area, I felt like have always treated me like very, very fairly. I've always enjoyed working with them. I have a pretty good relationship with the wedding planners in the area. The only time that I remember that a wedding venue treated me poorly was when I got a cold ham sandwich.
Uh,
And that wasn't even really the venue's fault. But I remember I was shooting a wedding, it was, like, 12 hours, and I got a cold ham sandwich that was, like, super late, and it was like, they wouldn't feed me until the rest of the guests got fed, and I'm like, "Well, okay. I mean, I'm gonna be trying to, like, shove a sandwich, down my gullet while I'm also, like, taking pictures of the toast, I guess."
yeah, and I think that's what I, again, everybody that's involved in a wedding, I've felt it, you've probably felt it. They feel like they're like the most important piece,
Yeah.
right? The DJ. Well, you can't
Yeah.
have a you can't you can't have a wedding without a DJ. Well, you
Yeah.
you technically could. Um, but everybody feels like they're like they're the star player,
Yep.
right? I'm videographer. I'm guilty of it. Photographer, you're guilty of it. Like the back and forth of what's more important, photo or video,
You know
Let's
what's
squash
fun
it now. But it's eh, you got to get out of that mindset of like, oh, I'm the most important part of the wedding. It's no, we're collectively all working together to put on this good event.
Matt, you know what's awful? I really do think I'm the most
That's fair. All right.
Like, no,
Well,
no, it's no, when I think about photo, I do think about, like, how I don't know, the photo person is the person who, like, is showing off what everybody else is doing.
yeah.
And so it's like, it's not the most important, I don't actually think that, but I do think that, like, I am an important piece because I document everything, like all the hard work that everybody else has done. I get to come in and take all the credit.
Yeah. And the other side of it, and kind of why I brought it up of like everyone thinks they're the most important is like the whole like because it's usually the caterer or the wedding plan. It comes from a whole bunch of different people, right? And every wedding's different, but it usually hits with the all right. We'll let the guest eat first because it's the polite thing to do, and then once they're done, then all the workers can eat. It's like okay, that's fine, especially from like a photo video perspective. It's like once everyone's eating, that's when everything starts. So do you want me to have a chicken leg in one hand and the camera in the other and try to eat while or not eat at all and then, I could potentially pass out? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But like it's not that we're like we think we're all high and mighty to where we need to eat first. It's hey, let us just eat really quick so then we can go back to documenting. We can go
exactly.
back to
So we can
running the
do our
DJ.
jobs.
We can go
Yeah,
back to doing what we need. We just need a
yeah,
quick 10-minute, let me eat, take a drink, bathroom break, boom, we're back
yeah,
into it. We're setting up ready for speeches. It's like, and I don't think they fully look at it again
yeah.
because when you're running with blinders, you can't see what everyone's doing around you or why people are doing what they're
Yeah.
doing around you. So it makes sense.
And we should cut this next line out. But have I told you about how like a wedding planner, like I got in line, like, like, and I was like right behind the wedding party. So it was like, like the very first table to go up and I like got right into line. And this wedding planner came over and she like grabbed my arm and she said, "What are you doing? Like, you're not like get out of line. Like you can."
Smash his food.
No, she was like, "No, no, no, like you can get in line like after everybody's like gone through." And I looked at her and I went, "No." And that's it. And I just turned right back around and started putting food on my plate.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's she gonna do?" And plus, like, and I was thinking like that mindset. I was like, "No, I have stuff I have to get done. I have stuff to shoot. I'm gonna eat now."
Yeah.
And
This is
then
the window that I can
yeah,
eat.
and I explained it to her like later on, but like I was just like in my mind at that point, I was thinking, I was like, "The fuck do you think you are?"
Yeah. It's so weird. All right, let me that way I know where to cut
Yeah.
it.
But so I mean, that's weddings, and it can be weddings are a really, really good time. Weddings are really, really fun. I absolutely like love doing weddings. And honestly, like I'm just glad that I've been so lucky with the wedding planners I've worked with the wedding vendors, with the couples I've worked with. I mean, truly, like I can't really tell you a time where like I did not enjoy my time with the couple.
yeah. And I think it's nice because like let, let's take two steps backwards really quick. So if you go search for Hustle Weddings, you're not going
Hmm.
to find it.
Nope.
So we actually have a second business that we have that is under the same media umbrella, Eternally Yours, Wedding Photo and Film. It's our wedding brand. And we went that direction because
Content is just so different. I mean, it's a different marketing
yeah,
style. It's a different
I was trying to
strategy.
think of like a cool way to say it, but yeah, it's just two completely
Yeah.
different things. Right? You what was the one of the unboxing of the teleprompter video that we're about to drop? Um is not going to bode well with
No,
a couple. They might, unless they're into that line of work. But at that point,
dude,
we should be targeting them with hustle anyway. So
could you imagine, like, let's say, like, it's the ceremony and you've got like the video camera here, like with the teleprompter with the vows on it, and the groom is just reading off
reading
the
it,
back.
that's funny.
Susan, I love you.
Yeah.
You, what's that one?
Scroll back up.
and
Scroll back
then
up.
and the videographer's just
Yeah.
like, "You're doing great."
Yeah. That would be no. So yeah, it kind of breaks down to marketing,
Yeah.
right? Who we're targeting, who we're going, who we're trying to work with. Hustle is more of the commercial event marketing, short form, long form, branding, right? Commercial style.
Yep.
Eternally Yours is weddings, families,
Vibes.
vibes, fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just different clientele. So
Yeah.
we are in both markets. If you look at our website, I think we have something on our website. If not, we should.
Yeah.
Good thing we're doing a rejumble.
Yeah. Something to look forward to. New website coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Not new, revamped. Well, I mean,
Wait, wait, wait. Have you heard about the new website that we're building? Wow, would you look at that? You know what I'm doing?
No.
It's Trump.
Oh,
Trump was talking about like something really serious, and then he goes, "But have you heard about the ballroom?" And then he just gets up. Oh, look at that.
that's funny.
And we'll cut that part out
Yeah.
too.
No, that I remember where before that.
No, we were talking about
Oh, webs on the web. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. New website coming up.
Yeah, revamped. It's something we have to do once a year at least with just different work that we have. We
Yep.
want people to see different photos, different videos, different cool projects. But we'll have something to where if you are looking for wedding, if you want to kind of switch over to that side of the business and kind of see what we do there, it's a whole separate website, separate everything that you can go through and look at that portfolio. But that's why we're jumping back and forth. We're talking about business, we're talking about weddings, we're talking about just I mean we it's fun because we do so many different things
Yeah.
for so many different clients. It's like it's the same thing, right? Generally the same thing,
Yeah, it's
but
kind of like
different for each
it's
business.
like the same like kernel, it's the same core for everything, but then it's kind of like branching decisions like out from there. It's like, well, which direction do we really want to go? Do we want to be silly? Do we want to be serious? Like the silly ones are my favorite.
Yeah.
I love making silly content.
Yeah. Or just even like think about like some of the shoots we go from a real estate agent to a weight loss company to a stock trader to a web developer. It's like
To a clothing brand.
to a clothing brand to like all these different like different and they all want it's the same thing we're doing photo video marketing but it's different for every it's a different strategy a different
Yep.
mindset. I got to put a different hat on with the different and it's nice because it's kind of like the best of both worlds where you know like like you know what you're doing
Hmm.
but then it's like you have a little variable to it to where it
That's what,
doesn't feel just
yeah,
groundhog day style.
exactly. It keeps it fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a new puzzle to solve, like every time.
Yeah. A new puzzle with new pieces, a new picture,
Hmm.
and all the different variables. But no, I will say kind of like what you're hinting at, like the different content, the fun content. Like we have a couple that are
Yeah.
fun. We have a we've had requests from others that we need to do more. Um, so we have a couple ideas brewing,
Yeah.
but it's definitely one where it's like I think that's like the key to marketing is you can't go too far in one. You can't do too much in one. You have to kind of dabble in
Yeah.
everything, which I would even say we're guilty of it a little bit. Um, hence why we need to kind of get back into like the funny skit type.
That's my dream is that like we're dropping like at least one of those like every single week.
Yeah. We have a couple of really good ideas.
Yeah, we do.
I don't want to unleash any of them or talk about any of them, but like some of the ones like the getting ready or like packing the car.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. We're definitely gonna make that one. I'm excited for you guys to see that
Yeah.
one.
Man, we're what is it? Clickbaiting the crap out of her. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you don't already go follow,
Yep.
go, the typical all the fun stuff and see all these funny videos coming out. But um no, I think kind of like we were saying, variety, have some fun stuff, have some organic stuff,
Yep.
have some value, kind of get variety is the what is it? Variety is
The
the
spice
spice
of
of
life.
life,
Yep.
It's a spice of marketing. You don't want to do too much of one. You kind of want to get a little bit more because I think and I've had the conversation with businesses where they're like, "No, we're just going to kind of do this." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. Kind of need a little bit something more." And I even told him, I said, "Because what's going to happen is when you're going to go down this road and kind of keep doing the same type of content, people are just going to kind of, oh, it's another, it's another, just kind of keep going
Yep.
past it.
Yep.
You got to kind of break the rhythm. You got to break the cycle, throw something out there that's a little bit different, but then also people are looking, as much as I hate to say it, people are looking for why is this important to me? That's where the value comes in. So it's like, if you can, what's a good example? we'll talk about like gyms,
Mhm.
right? Um, just putting out videos where it's like, oh, here we are in the gym. Here's everybody in the gym. Here's what the gym looks like. Okay, it's good. But why do I need to go? Why should I go to your gym?
Mhm.
Tell me why. Right? Break it down.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to go to the website. Like websites are important, obviously, but I think people don't realize is like social media is like the first stop because
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people are going to find you, or Google. And even at that point, like they just switched up where when you Google and search stuff, social media posts are now popping up
Yeah.
on Google to where it's like
More than just Reddit.
more than Reddit, more than like, if you search like gyms near me, right? We'll stay on this gym
Mhm.
example. You might not have websites that pop up. You're gonna have social media posts,
Yeah.
Instagram pictures, all. So it's now incorporated into the Google like
Dude,
SEO. So
the
it's like,
amount of times that like I've been looking for a business and they don't have a website and all there is just like a Facebook page that has barely any information on it. I'm just like, it frustrates me so much.
yeah,
Like, you guys don't even have your address on here.
yeah. I don't even know where to go to find you.
Yeah.
But it's like have that like why should people work with you?
Yeah.
Why is your gym any different than the gym across the street or you know name another gym? I don't, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to kind of provide that information because that's what people are looking for, right? Especially if I'm looking, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to find people that are either not happy with the current gym that they're in, they're either getting back, I'm starting this journey. I want to find a gym that I can go to. They're looking for a different pace, something that will help them. Right? So this is a really crucial part of their decision making. So if all they're going to see is just what the inside of your gym looks like, okay, that's great. I can walk in and see it.
Hmm.
What is going to keep me interested in wanting to work with your
Yeah.
gym? Where's the value at?
And I think that like if you're looking for, we'll say that the one simple trick with social media, and I think especially like a gym is a great example of this, is that when you're on social media, you are trying to show off the culture of your
Yeah.
business. I mean, that's kind of like where it's like obviously like everybody knows that like everybody who's already a part of your business, whether they're like a close client, an employee, or a close friend or whoever, they're going to be familiar with that culture, but everybody on the outside will not. And social media is such a great place to do that, to show off the culture
Yeah.
of your business because like yeah, a gym, such a good example of this. Most gyms have weights, benches, most. I hope you do.
Dwight's gym doesn't.
Dwight's gym for muscles was
Yeah.
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 Like, not all gyms have a sauna, not all gyms have like the hot cold. Really good to see that. But what I want to see more is that like if I go to your gym, I'll be accepted. If I go to your gym, I'm not going to be laughed out because like I don't know if you guys can tell, I don't got pythons here, right? Like, like my arms are not the size of tree trunks. So like, for me, like when I go to a gym, like I want to make sure that like I'm going to go somewhere where I'm not going to feel judged, where like, like somebody isn't going to like, um, you know, give me a hard time because I haven't spent as much time at the gym as they have, or I haven't taken it as seriously as they have.
Yeah.
Like Vintage Iron is like such a good example of this, like a
Name dropping.
local gym around here. They've got a great culture. It's so cool over there.
Yeah.
They've got their own merch line. They've got cool stuff on the walls. Like, yeah, I might be a little biased. A buddy of mine does their media, so
Yeah.
like, like I always think it looks sick.
Dude, I love their logo.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
why
awesome.
it gives me whatever vibe, but I'm like, yeah, this is the spot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the culture, the personality, like we go back to what we were talking about however long ago it was. Um, what you're lacking when you get AI involved is that personality connection. But it's like being a gym owner, it's very interesting because yeah, it's very straightforward. Come to our gym, pay your monthly, whatever, do this, work with us. We have a nutritionist, we have a
Yep.
trainer, whatever. We have the weights, we have the treadmill, we have this, we have that, we have the classes, we have the whatever your unique selling point is. But you have to meet them where they're at.
Mhm.
Meaning you have to know who your clientele is, who you want to connect with, but you have to let them understand that you understand where they're at right now. All right, one last break before we wrap things up. If you're interested in being on the podcast or you have a business and a story that you want to share, just comment on the video or shoot us a DM. We love to connect. That's what this show is about, connecting with businesses and hearing their story and what they have to say. And also, if you're enjoying this episode, it would mean a lot if you can go and review this podcast so others can find it as well. We really appreciate hearing your feedback. Finally, if you want more content like this, go check out our YouTube channel. We've got full episodes from the show, and we're posting content that is jam packed with value every week. All right, that's it. No more breaks. Let's get back into the episode. Not not chasing trends,
Yep.
not kind of falling into like, well, other businesses are doing, so we got to do it too. We got to keep up, the whole keep up with the Joneses. Like,
Yep.
it's more of like okay, let's be authentic, because that might mean that we have to go a different route. That might mean we have to do something a little bit different. But it's that genuine feeling of, from the gym perspective,
Yep.
of being welcome into the gym. Well, are you a welcoming gym in general?
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of putting on that show? You just kind of get people in the door, and then once they get in and start working out or doing whatever, taking
Yeah.
then it just now the truth comes out. Like, are you a genuinely good business at heart, and you want to see people succeed in what they're doing, or their interaction with you, or are you just trying to put on a front to get them in the door
Yep.
to then maybe, like, once they get involved, then it's like, oh, now we got them, we're hooked.
So I saw something interesting recently. Like, have you heard of the red napkin strategy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like,
That restaurant owner, he had that podcast that he went on. He talked about I think I sent it. I might have sent it to you because it definitely would be like one of those things that
we
I would
said,
send to you because it's like
yeah,
yeah. But so to everybody that hasn't seen this, so we're talking about authenticity, and I saw this guy. He owns a restaurant. Like he came onto a podcast and talked about what is his strategy for acquiring new customers.
yeah,
And it kind of struck me. I mean, it was an interesting strategy. It definitely works, but I was wondering about like the authenticity that it actually creates around the brand and the authenticity of the culture around the brand. So, the first time that you go to this restaurant, they ask you, is it your first time here? And if you say yes, they give you a red napkin. And so, everybody who works there knows that this is your first time there and that they need to give you an immaculate experience so that you'll come back. So at the end of that experience, like the manager himself will come over with the business card and, he'll say like, hey, like, did you have a good time? Like, this is my personal name and phone number. And if you enjoyed your meal today, I'd love to have you back. Here's $5 off chicken, you
yeah,
know? So, you come back, you get the $5 off your chicken. And then at the end of that meal, and because you have that business card, all of the employees know this is this person's second time here. They need to receive that white glove service. There's something on the third time and there's something on the fourth time. Like, it's like they'll give you something, another reason to return. But the fourth experience or the fourth visit is where it ends. And so after that, like what's going on, right? You see where I'm going with this? It's like
yeah,
if I am only getting like a really, really cool experience because I'm a new customer, like how does that make me feel as somebody who's been patronizing this business for years? And I've never gotten $5 off chicken.
yeah.
Like, why would I wanna come back? Like, to
Well, you
me
always order steak, so it doesn't matter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. But, like, my question is, like, I wanna learn something today because obviously this guy is very experienced, he's incredibly knowledgeable, he's intelligent, and, he's been doing this for a long time. How does that strategy breed authenticity past that 4th visit?
So I think there is a strategy. I think it works well,
Yeah.
but what they don't go over is like two crucial pieces. I think one, you sh- th- the service you're giving on the first four interactions should not be far off from the service you're giving everybody else that walks in the door.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you do this strategy, right, and you have one, great, two is phenomenal, three, they love it, four, they're telling their friends, five, it just plummets, you lost them. In my
Yeah.
opinion, you'll lose them, and
Yeah.
you won't go back. Or maybe you'll get them back one more time. Oh,
Just to see
it
if
was an
maybe it
off
was like,
night.
yeah, it
It
was a
was an off night.
fluke.
New server. Let's go back. And then another bad experience. I think I'll I'll never go back to that restaurant again. So I think the part that they don't talk about with that strategy is being authentic. And it's not so much that you're calling out like, "Hey, here's a red napkin. We have to give them the,"
Yeah.
but it's more of like, "Hey,
Don't mess up.
don't mess up.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah.
If we want to
Yeah.
mess up somewhere else, this is the one we don't want to mess up."
Yeah.
Right. And I I I understand the getting them back in the door with the $5 off or whatever, get the incentive. I think that I'm fine with. I th- I'm not a big fan of like giving stuff away.
Mhm.
I mean, we do it all the time. I'm guilty of it. But we try to
No, no, we don't.
maximize.
Don't ask.
Yeah. Yeah. We do try to maximize what we
Yeah.
do on shoots and on sets and all the different things. And when people come in, like, but that's just because that's a staple of what we do,
Yeah.
right? So I can't go too harsh in that direction of like, oh, it's dumb for them to give $5 away.
Yeah.
It's a strategic play to get them back in the door. It's like the coupon, giving out a coupon, right? I think to kind of serve that second half
Yeah.
of that, hey, is it authentic? Do other people like, maybe they're doing like a punch card, right? Come in 5 times,
Yep.
fifth, 6 times free. I don't know. I don't see fancy restaurants doing that. If you're handing out red and white napkins,
Yeah.
maybe it's rolls of silverware.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eternally Yours has a punch card. Yeah, fifth wedding's free.
Yeah, yeah. Buy two, pay full price for the third one
Yeah.
because we're not giving discount. No, no, it's very yeah. Eternally, that's a good one.
No, wait, real quick though. I did back when I was a graphic designer, there was a guy who came in, and he was getting these like bachelor shirts, and they had a number 7 like on the front pocket. And so, I mean, we get all kinds of stuff, like that I'd have to like, like fit and like model onto a t-shirt or whatever. So, this one just had me curious. I was like, what's the number 7 mean? And he said, it's the 7th time he's gotten married. And you know what? I feel like it's finally time to make a joke about it.
Yeah. Oh my god. At that point, you might as well just date. You don't have to get married.
Yeah, it's like
Just-
I've done this before. We don't have
Yeah.
to do it again.
Yeah. I want to kind of break down that strategy a little bit though.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a couple key pieces to it. I think the most important part is not so much the first visit, the second visit, third visit, the fourth visit, whatever, however many times it breaks down. I think the most important part is after you get out of that window, that next visit after that. And you can always just say it's always the next one, always the next
Yeah.
one. But I think when you take the bells and whistles away, when you take the red napkin away, when you take all the other stuff away, what it comes down to is being authentic, being who you are, showing your
Yeah.
true color, like being the business that you are, because you can put a good front. You see it all the time on social media. Like so many businesses
Yeah.
will like, oh, we're the big bad business, blah, 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 blah. And then like you start working with them and you're like,
You're not as scary as I
"I'm not
thought."
seeing it. I mean, we've had to, never mind. I don't even want to go down that road. Not even going to bring it up or say it.
But I think like what it comes down to is like people don't like being tricked.
Exactly.
It's like the sale that's always on sale.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was actually Emily was buying something from some website, and I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking like, man, this price is just too good to be true. Like just like, and I started looking at their website. I'm like, everything is like 50% off. And there's this countdown timer at the top that says like this deal ends in like it was like 12 minutes or something. And I was like, let's just wait 12 minutes and see what happens. A timer reset,
Yeah.
you know? And that's when I'm starting to think like, is this fake stuff? Like, is this like, are these cheap knockoffs? Did these fall off the back of a truck? What's going on here? Because
Yeah.
it's like the second that you lose that authenticity and that trust with your client, they're starting to wonder what's going on behind the scenes that I don't know about, that you feel the need to go through these tactics to try and get my business.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I get, you know, I there's strategy behind, oh, let's have a sale, let's, play into FOMO and
Yeah.
all these different psychology pieces that go into it. But at the end of the day, it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And how, like, with the world having so many businesses and so many different avenues to be able, like, to buy stuff, you can buy it online, go to the store, whatever, you have so many different ways of getting the business from somewhere,
Yeah.
whether it be a product or a service. Like, the bottom line is, are you genuine?
Yeah.
And I think it's tough because some businesses, they try to do all these crazy things, and it's like you're actually kind of hurting yourself more than just like, hey, here's who we are, here's what we're doing, and here's why we're doing it. And you want to work with us, great. If not, cool. Like, I mean, we kind of have that, I don't want to say laid back mindset,
Hmm.
but we have the full offer, right? We can come,
Yeah.
we'll be your marketing department. We'll
Yeah.
do it all. Photo, video, we'll build your website, we'll do everything,
Ads management.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just need photos? Sure. Yeah, we can
We can
do
do
that.
that. Yeah.
You just need a video? Sure. We can do that too. We don't need the whole pie. We don't
Yeah.
need the whole thing. If you're like, hey, we want you to come in and be a part of this team. We want you to come in and we want you to perfect this small area of the process. Sure. We got no problem doing that.
Yeah.
You want us to come in and do the whole thing? Sure. That's fine too. And it's that idea of like, hey, we're going to give you our best effort with whatever you need.
Yep.
There's no fancy bells and whistles, no sale. Well, because that's an easy upsell. Well, we're coming in to do photo, but you'll get a deal if you let us do everything.
Yeah.
Well, then you're probably going to lose the deal in general.
Yeah.
But it's like, we don't need
It's
to
not what they
be,
want.
yes.
Yeah.
The end of the day, what do they want?
Yeah.
How can you help? You're solving a problem. As a
Hmm.
business owner, that is what it boils down to, is you are solving a problem somebody has,
Yep.
right? So it's like, be the problem solver, don't be the problem creator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what it's just, sometimes it's,
And sometimes, like, I do find myself telling clients, like, this is what you need. Cause, like, sometimes you know, I think a big difference is like with some clients is like the clients that do come in and say, I just want photo, typically, like, they know that that's part of their strategy. Like, they've already done their strategy and they know that they just want photo. I do find myself sometimes, analyzing, our clients, and then I'd say, well, I think this is what you need, right?
yeah,
And some clients are open to it, some clients aren't. But like at the end of the day, it's like coming back to authenticity. It's like as long as I'm authentic about it, like I'm never gonna try and sell you something that you don't actually need. Because at the end of the day, judge me by my results, right? Don't judge me by how many hours I put in. If the project was crap, it's like I don't care that you put 40 hours into this. This looks like garbage. I'm not gonna use it. It's like you might as well have like sat on your thumb, you
yeah.
know?
That's like, I know I've sent it to you. Chris Doe breaks down
Yeah.
hourly compared to like per
Yeah.
project, and like, he's like, well, if it took you a lot of hours, then must be really good.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's like, he was like, but if I can do it quicker, what keeps me from just pushing
Yeah.
that it took me longer? Like, I could get it done in a week, but maybe I tell you it's a month that it took me.
Have you heard his napkin story? It's another napkin story.
Damn napkins. Probably.
So it was the one where he was taught somebody asked a question. They said, "How much should I charge for my logo?" And his question was like, "Well, who's the client?" You know? And so he was talking about like what you should charge and how. So like hourly versus per project.
Yeah.
And he said that like he and another designer went to a meeting with this huge bank and they were talking about like marketing, logo design, like all sorts of things. And so they were talking about the logo, and as they're talking, the designer next to Christo is just sketching out on a napkin, and she says something like this, and they went, "Yeah, that's it." And she said, "Okay, well, we'll change it then." "No, that's it. You did it. Thank you."
Yeah.
And they charged him like tens of thousands of dollars for that, and it took them 30 minutes in a lunch call, or not even a call, at a lunch, just talking. And that was it. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah. Cause sometimes, like, they know what they want.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to get it. They don't know what they, in this situation, they're not good at drawing,
Yeah.
right? Or they don't know logo design, but they know what they want. They can tell you, it's that infamous saying, I don't know
Yeah.
what I want, but I can tell you what I don't. Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
we'll just like go through every single thing in the world.
yeah.
We'll say this,
N-
this,
yeah.
this.
I can't really tell you what I like, but I can tell you what I don't like. It's like we've I don't know if you are hinting at we've had somebody say that to us
Yeah,
years ago.
but I think that we're gotten good at like figuring out what it
Yeah.
is that people do actually like.
All in the pre-pro.
Oh man, the pre-pro, it's my favorite.
Yeah. So
There's oh dude, there's one last thing about like authenticity that I wanted to mention. Um man, now I can't remember what it is. It will come back to me probably sometime at the end of this conversation or tonight when I'm hanging out at home.
we'll tack it on to the end of the video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll just this is where it's gonna cut to you like on your home computer, like, hey guys, I remember what
Oh
I was
yeah.
saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll just kind of weave it in. No, I think it just comes down to like, do you pass the vibe check?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I think that's just where businesses are going, and like, I think that's what people want. I'm a
Yeah.
consumer, right? I'm an end consumer. You are like we're people in the world. Yeah, we're business owners, and we do marketing and but at the end of the day, I don't want to be spammed with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I just want the genuine vibe. And I think that's like I'll say this. The three pieces of content that I would tell any business if they haven't done any content.
Hmm.
So like we'll use Instagram for example. The three pieces of content that you should have pinned at the top of your Instagram. And we're not even guilty of it. So guess what? It's being added to the to-do list. The three pieces of content you should have posted at the top: what you do, who you are,
Hmm.
what you do, and why you do it.
You gotta have a picture of yourself. Like you have to. Cause like I find so often that like when I'm looking for a service-based business where I'm gonna be dealing with a specific person, like if it's a one-person business, like so like I'm getting married, like wedding planners, like this is a really good example of this. Wedding planners have a picture of themselves pinned right up to the top of their Instagram page. So you can see who they are, kind of like immediately get a sense of like what they're like and like and kind of like what their vibe is.
Yeah.
Like, is it like a silly photo? Is it a serious photo? Like, is it bright,
And it
colorful? Is it black and white?
and it translates into video because if you are putting that out there, you're getting through like majority of the initial call that you're going to have with this person. If they
Yeah.
move forward, majority of that information is going to be right there for them. The other part of it is that people will use that to see, okay, is this person authentic? Is this who I'm actually dealing with? They put a really good video out here. They look really well put together. They're professional. They're saying all the right things. They have the right tone.
Yeah.
Does that match the person that I'm going to be talking
Yeah.
with when I set up my initial call? That needs to be kind of hand in hand. Your online presence and who you are needs to be you shouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
And I think that falls into that authentic be who you are. Because if you put a good, I knew a real estate agent. They were fantastic at this, playing the game, talking and getting people interested. But then, like the second we got out to the property, or they started like really talking about like the house of trying to sell, and it really kind of went downhill quick.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, I get you can drum up a bunch of conversation, but what it comes down to is selling a house. So
Yeah.
if you get down to the nitty gritty, you're not good at doing that, or you struggle with that, you're not the same person that you're putting out online. So like being able to be authentic in your marketing, in your social media, and what you put out there, and with how you come across when you're dealing or talking to or working with
Hmm.
clients, it's got to be identical
Yeah.
or somewhat close to it. You can't be a different person outside of, when you show up and talk with them.
So that reminds me of what I forgot earlier.
There you go. See, that's what I'm here for.
So influencer marketing.
Yeah.
So influencer marketing can be done very, very well, or it can be done very, very poorly. Cause like you have like those influencers who are like, you can tell in their ad read if you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, it's like it's very obvious that this is an ad read and they probably don't use this product,
No.
you know? But so this is actually this product. So this wasn't coffee. This was actually it's called mud water and it's like a mushroom coffee.
Interesting.
So there was this like influencer who just like kept showing up on my timeline like over and over and over. And I really liked their vibe. It's like very like adventure, travel, kind of like nomad, like digital nomad, like, very like kind of like earthy, very like very vibey kind of a sense about them.
Yeah.
Like somebody that like I definitely like relate to, it's like it's kind of my
That darn algorithm.
yeah, right. I know it knows me well, but it's kind of like I almost live like vicariously like through them now because like I see all these like amazing like places they go and they take all these like great pictures at these great places. They shoot with the same camera that I shoot with. And so because like they kept showing up on my timeline promoting this product, I was like, okay, let me check them out. And when I went to the website, it was like the vibe of that influencer, even though like she didn't start marketing for them until they were a well-established company, they fit together so
Yeah.
well.
I know, yeah.
Like that
I'm picking up. Yep, yep,
they were
yep.
like pushing that mushroom coffee kind of like superfood health benefits, like like decrease like like the jitters from coffee, decrease your caffeine intake, and start getting all these things that your body and your brain needs that are like technically like superfoods. But because that messaging was so consistent throughout both of their brands, and I was looking at their profile, at the influencer's profile, I was like, I believe they drink this. Like
Yeah.
the whole health, wellness, kind of like even like woo woo, element of it, that hippie element that I love so much. Like I was like, I'm sure they drink this. This is probably like a perfect product for them, which then led me to try it. And now I'm on a subscription for it.
Got him.
Got them.
No, it's I say that sometimes when I buy stuff. I'm like, I buy it and I'm like, got me this time.
Yep. Yep.
Like
Dude, I think the same way though. Like,
somebody around there just made a sale and they're happy about it
yeah.
and their marketing team's cheering in the background.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like George Bush. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got them.
That's what they're saying in the background. Back to memes, But
Yeah.
no, I think what you're bringing up falls into authenticity. I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. Like, I don't want to like, especially UGC is a very
Yeah.
like popular thing right now with marketing. We use it with some of our clients. We kind of, I don't think we use it, sort of use it ourselves. We have our own podcast, but anyway, I think the problem though is that if you do go that route, you have to be careful because one, you got to make sure you guys align
Yeah.
on a lot of different levels. It's not just like, all right, this is a really cool person. They have a lot of followers. It's like, okay, well, first off, you might want to investigate into their followers. One, from like an Instagram standpoint, you can buy followers.
Yeah.
You can pay for the fake traffic. That's not going to convert to what you want UGC content for.
Dude, if I could just interrupt for 1 second. I was watching a news show on YouTube and they came in with a Raid Shadow Legends ad read.
Nice.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends? And not like an ad that came in on YouTube that, like got targeted to me. Like it was in the video, like the Raid Shadow Legends reached out to this organization or they reached out to them and they did an ad read right in the middle of the segment. And I was like, all right, back to the news. I was like, are you serious? Like I was like right there. That's an example of like what not to do.
Yeah, it's just you want to make sure like the people that are promoting, right? There's a fine line because when you're in business, right? And I get it, you probably get it all the time too, is like when people are like, oh, would you ever do this type of, would you ever work with this type of, would you ever like
Yeah.
there's the website that all of the females are on, just females, but like
What's the website?
I don't want to put it out there. No bad juju, but
Yeah.
but I get that. You know how many times we got like we have people in your oh, what if they came and they wanted you to film or take the photos? I'm like, I mean, we provide a service. The problem is like the authenticity kind of falls hand in hand with like beliefs and like how you want
Yeah.
to kind of hold yourself to a standard. So it's like it's very interesting. But what you want to make sure is like when you're doing this UGC, when you're having this, like this brand, you're building this brand, you're being
Yeah.
authentic, is that the people that you are working with align with that as well.
I did lose a little bit of faith in that channel. To be completely honest with you, I was like, why would you choose this ad read?
Yeah.
And I immediately started thinking, I mean, like, how credible is this? You
Yeah.
know?
Are they just in it for the money? Like
Yeah.
they got somebody that's interested to throw a bunch of money to get in front of
Hmm.
their for whatever reason. And I think what that fine line you dance as a business owner is like, look, at the end of the day, to keep the doors open, I gotta take on business. I can't pick and choose exactly who we work with, how we work with, and what we do, but you kind of do have to, you know, because you got to make sure it's a good fit. You
Yep.
got to make sure like they work well, not only work well with you, but like I'm trying to think of a
Well, I think
good
your
example.
values have to align because I think that if, I mean, they don't have to completely align, but if this person is a murderer, you know, and it's not like they're even like a reform, it's not like this is a great story of somebody who like, is like reformed and like saw the error of their ways or whatever. No, this is somebody that's just like, I've killed multiple people and I'm going to keep killing multiple people. Do you mind marketing my
Trash
lemonade
removal
stand?
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trash. Yeah. No, I think because it's tough because you sit here and you're like, I can't fully get behind it. I don't fully understand or agree with what they're doing, but
Yeah. Or if
there's
somebody was like promoting like some scam crypto, like and came in and wanted
yeah.
us to do that, we wouldn't do that.
No, because we gotta kind of look at it as like we hold ourselves to a standard. We want to promote good business. We want to work with good
Yep.
businesses. That's the whole foundation of this podcast is like we want to connect with smaller, medium-sized businesses that are genuine, that are true, that are providing a good service, that are,
Yep.
you know,
They're not paying
ex
us in Google Play cards.
yeah. Yes, yeah. It's like that it kind of lines up with everything. And it's tough if like we sit here and we work with somebody and then they turn around and do something that we wouldn't necessarily align with. I think it's a it falls into that authentic,
Yep.
right? It falls into that who you are, that brand identity. And I think it's not talked about too much with, building a brand and like growing a business is like who do you want to associate yourself with? Like there's people that we've had deals with that we at the time were like this is a good deal, let's move forward,
Mhm.
and we've had to pivot because we didn't like
Didn't
where it
Yeah.
was going. We didn't, and you have to kind of make those decisions and understand, like, hey, or even clients where it's like, hey, you know, this isn't the best fit. We don't, and more times than not, they've said it before us.
Yeah.
We're like, oh no,
Sometimes it's not,
yeah,
yeah, sometimes it's not the best fit. And and that's it genuinely like it sucks. Cause like having gone through that, and especially like when you really like the other person,
yeah,
I'm just like, man, like I want to work together.
it just
But
doesn't work.
yeah, and I'd rather stay friends than have, you know, the situation get sour, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had a point. Oh, because at the end of the day, like, it kind of goes back to like what we talked about at the very beginning of this episode. Is like some of the clients we have become friends, and working with people, we work close with them, and we do get on that level of like, hey, we want to see your business succeed, and that's kind of like our quote unquote, I don't say calls or call line, but it's like, hey, your success is ours. If you
Hmm.
guys are succeeding, if you guys are being successful and having all this movement and everything's great, it means that we're kind of doing our job the right way as well. We don't
Yeah,
need the flashy stuff to figure that out. We just want to see you guys happy and your success,
exactly.
and then we'll know we're doing what we need to be doing.
Exactly.
So, no, I think it's man, we talked about a lot.
Yeah. I think we talked a long time about about authenticity, which I think with how important it is, that correlated with the amount of time that we spent talking about it. Because
Yeah.
I would say that like if you were to like take anything away from like this podcast or even just like marketing in general. It's just like as long as you're authentic, people see that you're being authentic. They don't feel like they're being tricked or they don't feel like they're being sold. They'll want to support you.
Yeah, and I'll double down on what you're saying. Let's quickly name off all the topics we talked about, right? So we
Yeah.
talked about AI.
AI
We talked about the
strategy.
red napkin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So AI, a little bit of strategy, red napkin, relationship with clients, um, being genuine in your work.
Yep.
All of those have one underlying common piece. It's being authentic,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to run AI ads because it's not you're not authentic. Like it's not an
Yeah.
authentic, right? Your strategy with the red napkin, you want to make sure you're authentic once you get past that fourth mark,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Your connection and relationship you have with your clients, you want to make sure you're authentic there because you want to put on, you want to build a good foundation, good relationship that you can build off of, right? It all falls back on
Yep.
being authentic. So it's like that is a crucial piece. And I think, and you might see businesses have quick success, right? Or they come into a market and they go crazy, but look, longevity, right? I'll take the marathon over the sprint every day of the
Yep.
week. That's kind of our mindset that we've had for the past 5 years, whatever long we've officially kind of been running full throttle. I mean, first couple of years we were kind of, picking up here, doing there, other
Yeah.
focuses. But now we're kind of like, all right, we're rocking and rolling. We're working on the marathon. We're not working on the sprint. And
Yeah.
it it's one of those where I think people don't fully understand that. Right. You gotta have quick wins, right? Keep the business afloat. But there's things we did 2 years ago that are now starting to pay off.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Because one, we stuck around long enough to get to that point. But then when it's like, should I go down this road? Should I nurture this?
Yeah.
Should I run with this idea?
Dude, I think there's a quote written on the inside of this book that has to deal with this.
Pulling a book off the shelf. This is a first, everybody.
Yeah, the great oak was once a little nut that held its ground.
Dang, dude. Is that planting trees for dummies? I just completely squashed that really good moment.
Man, I wish I could read.
Yeah, that's what that said.
Yeah.
But no, it's exactly right. I mean, think of like, so we'll talk about the studio real quick. This will be like our last. This is it. This is the last topic, and then we'll let everybody go on their way. But like, think about the studio. It blossomed from this like, hey, I just need a place to put gear. Then it was like, okay, what does this look like? What can this turn into?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was pushed a little bit of people interested, a little bit of people coming in. And I mean, I would argue that this podcast, this is episode 23. We've kind of fluctuated on and off just with life balances and everything. But if you go back to the very first episode, I think the first like 2 or 3 episodes, I can't remember exactly. They're not even done in a studio. I went to the person. I was like, I'll set up a couple cameras. I'll rock it out, the same setup on the road. But then it was like, all right, there's something here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep investing into this. So then with stuff outside of the business took place where we made some strategic moves during a time that we don't even want to talk about. It was COVID, but anyway, not anything crazy. I don't want people to like start going off the like, what Matt, what have you, who is it?
The dark times.
Yeah, that's what, no. Oh man. It was, okay. So I'm going way, I'll come back to what I was just talking about, but I do want to talk about this because it's kind of funny. I thought it was hilarious. So there was an episode of, I think it was Joe Rogan and Bert. He was either talking to Bert Kreischer or he was talking about Bert Kreischer. And I guess Bert was on Shannon Sharp's podcast. And we're going, stay with me here. Shannon Sharp kind of made a comment about like how he had to like, Bert had to like kind of bring it, like come back around. Like he kind of fell on hard times and he's back now on top. And
Yeah.
Bert just was like, I just felt so awkward. I just went with it. I've never really fallen on hard times. He just like, Joe was like, I think Joe Rogan was listening to it and going, I don't think Bert's never been in that situation. He's never had like he's had tough time, like
Yeah,
developing and as a comedian and everything, but he's never like fallen on hard times and like had to kind of,
and, like, rose
bring,
back
yeah.
yeah.
He was just like, I don't think he's ever gone through that. And they called Bert and he was like, yeah, I didn't, it was awkward. I didn't know what to say. So I just went with it. And it was so funny, their reaction. But that's why, like, I was like, it was during a time where it was a tough
Yeah,
time. And I was like, hold on a second. I don't need people to think like we were just kind of like out
yeah,
on the, no. We made some strategic moves.
yeah.
But around that time, it was from a business standpoint, what does that look like as well? Because we always want to be thinking, like I said, a couple steps ahead,
Mhm.
more than two moves ahead, future, future looking. What does this platform look like as far as social media marketing? Where we want to go? How do we want to kind of get there? There's many different ways to go. Um, but what it all comes down to is content.
Mhm.
And part of it was also, it was tough to go and set up each time. And it took a lot of time, but I jokingly was like, man, I wish I just had to place people and just film here. And then I
Yeah,
was like, hold on a second. And then kind of things worked out with the house and moving, and then I had to find a spot because of just the living arrangements. And so then it was like, all right, well, let's see what this looks like. And then it just kind of snowballed. But if I never took that first initial thought of like, hey, what would this potentially look like? Or like, it never would have blossomed into this. But day one of like, yeah, let's find a spot, that was definitely not a quick win. But look at where we're at now. Like, I'll toot our own horn. Where else can you go in our area? Like, you can find 4 or 5 different sets to film in: vertical, horizontal, long form, short form. Come in, get your headshots, film a podcast, walk out the door. And I, I've done my market research. Well, there's one really nice place, really top of the line place:
what place is that?
Hustle Podcast Studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I've heard good things about those guys.
Yeah. They have a really cool podcast out of that place. It's definitely worth listening to.
Yeah.
Some of the episodes. The most recent one,
Mm.
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I heard there was some
Okay.
douche
That was a
photographer.
joke about our episode, not the previous episode that I had. Please, I hope that joke landed. I don't remember who was the last episode.
You don't even remember.
No, it was David. We did our marketing in motion
Oh,
episode.
nice.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
another.
David.
We'll have another episode where we have to do that.
Yeah.
But anywho, just talking about ideas and blossoming, and just kind of let things develop.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, authenticity. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. If you guys are interested, please go ahead and check out our website. Like we were hinting earlier, it's at this point should be close to being revamped. If not, there are some new stuff on there. Just as far as projects, cool things we've done. Check out Eternally Yours. We'll have everything kind of linked below, social media, all the fun stuff. We do drop a lot of great value on our social media, a lot of clips from here. So you'll see this a little bit. We do have a little bit more strategic and thought provoking, um, value driven pieces that we put out. You can also see a lot of our work, photos and video that we've done. A lot of cool, all across the board: social media, website, everywhere. Um, we do have, I'll kind of talk about it a little bit more. We do have I don't want to say a spin-off, but a subset to this show. I mentioned it, Marketing Emotions. So that's where we
Hmm.
dive a little bit deeper into more strategic marketing strategies. Our first episode just dropped last week. It was with David. You know David. We talked organic and paid ads.
Oh, nice.
So organic and paid content, the differences, how they work together, how they could potentially hurt you, all the fun stuff. So that was good episode 1. There's more coming out. We have a couple people lined up for more of the marketing strategy. you also included, so good luck. I don't know
Oh,
if
sweet.
I don't know if you look at your calendar, but it's on. No, it's not on there. It's not on
I
there.
was gonna say, like, yeah, I don't even know how to read. What are you talking about?
No, a lot of good stuff. So I would say if you have gotten to the end of this episode and you are intrigued, you like hearing us talk, you like some of our stories, go check out our social media. Go look at a lot of what we're putting out. A lot of great stuff, in my opinion, but there's a lot of value there. I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing we try to do the most is provide the value for everybody, even if you're just a passer, just a passerby, tire kicker, whatever you want to call it, however you want to describe it. It's used as like a negative term, tire kicker, but it's like, no, you're just being like, you're just not jumping to impulse buying. Like,
Yeah, I think it's people conflate it or they think of it as kind of like kicking the can down the road
yeah,
because it's just so close to that.
yeah, but it's like, I'm going to check this. I want to check it out before I want to buy, I'm
Yeah.
not just going to jump anyway.
I want to swirl the wine.
Yes. Yeah. Smell it. Don't they like, I don't know. I've never done a wine tasting, but don't you like smell it? You
You're
taste it and then
supposed
you
to.
like spit it back out or something like that. At this point, just drink it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just drink the wine, not the Kool-Aid.
You know, I bet you I'll honestly, I feel like I would enjoy a beer tasting more.
Probably like go to like a good brewery and
I'm not even trying to like fall into the stereotype of like women like wine and men like beer. Like, no, I love wine. Like, but honestly, I think I really would probably do better at a beer tasting than a wine tasting.
we've done distillery tastings.
That sounds awesome.
Very dangerous. Not very dangerous.
No.
It's safe and legal. It's not anything crazy. But
Dude,
you go through a couple tastings, dude.
Man, you want to know what's crazy is like I have seen like programs where like multiple wineries will like set up like a multi-stop thing across the day,
Yeah.
but don't provide transportation.
Oof. Yeah, that's on,
I mean,
you gotta
like I
find your
feel
DD.
like you're just inviting trouble when you do that.
Well, especially in our area. So like, I mean,
Yeah, all the
going-
drunk drivers around
No,
you.
no. Let's talk about all the wineries.
Yeah.
They have like, what is it? The wine map. I don't know what it's called. I don't drink wine. In that situation, I'm the DD. I want to go hang out, have a good time. I'm not really a big wine drinker, so I will make sure everybody's traveling safely. In my car, at least. I can't talk about it. But I'll be the DD. I'll drive. I'll grab a water and hang out. I'm just not huge on wine. But yeah, it's very like they call it. What's the road that kind of goes through all the main road? It's like going from here, kind of deeper into Virginia.
Back roads or like are you talking about like a
no.
specific road?
A specific road. I can't remember, but it's
522?
like you have all the different wineries like left and right, all the way up. It's like
It's not on Route 50, is it?
maybe it's near Route 50.
Like it's is it near 66?
Dude, you're asking the wrong questions. I'm more of like go to the Beehive and make a left. I don't know roads.
You're gonna go down a couple of blocks. You're gonna wait until you see that one weird bush.
Yeah.
Take a right.
You'll know what bush I'm talking about. And you get there and you're like, that is a weird bush.
Okay, nope. That is a weird bush. Yep.
No. But they do like it's like a wine tour. So you have all the different wineries that you can stop at and they like tell you kind of like what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely need some type of like like travel.
If you came up with a business, yes, you out there in internet land, if you came up with a business that transported people from these dangerous places called wineries, we could probably help you market that.
Yeah. We'll even have you sit down right here and talk about it.
Yeah. Talking about how you could be saving lives.
Really hit them, hit them right in the feels.
Hey, listen, we've just been talking about authenticity, and I want to stop you from being a murderer.
All right. We're gonna end it now because we are quickly going down the path of we're using all the hot keywords and fun stuff.
Oh, man, this is on YouTube. Yeah. An unaliver. You could be an unaliver.
That's just as bad.
I hate that. But let's.
We're
Thanks for
ending it here.
visiting. Yeah.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.